Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Royal Talk Podcast.
Cheer!
If this is your first time tuning in, let us introduce ourselves real quick. My name is Joe.
Adam. Jake.
And we got Jorge behind the camera, as always. Guys, anyone who's been listening to us nonstop, just want to give you a good appreciation and a shout out to you. We do it for you guys, and we love all the comments, all the messages. I got stopped in the parking lot the other day. He didn't say anything about Royal Talk, but I could tell he knew me. He was like, "Oh, dude, what's up, dude? How you doing?" Shook my hand. I was like, "Oh, what's up, brother?" And he's like thinking of my name, and he's like, I don't think he wanted to look stupid, so he's like, "All right, whatever." And then he's like, "I'm just gonna go get ice cream." I was like, "Man, enjoy, have fun with the family, whatever." But anyways, come up to us, say hi. Love you guys, and we appreciate it. We really got a real good episode today. Super excited to get into this one. Adam's gonna introduce our guest today.
Man Talk 101.
Man Talk.
Can you guys hear me?
Name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear yourself?
No.
Yeah. I hear you, Papa. You sound good.
Yeah.
You sound deep, sexy.
All right.
Like you're whispering to Gabby's clam.
Right. You saw that video I sent you guys with the otter or whatever, that video on IG?
Yeah.
I
I was at the gym. I was like, I'm getting hard.
Whose headphone is this?
Fucking thing is all
That's good.
eating an
Thank
antelope.
you.
Or what was it?
Yeah,
What was
good,
it?
good, yeah.
What was it?
I don't even know. It looked like a puss. It looked like a puss.
Oh shit.
Oh, what you sent today? The
No,
otter?
I said
Oh
that.
yeah, you
That
said
was
that. Yeah,
otter.
I was like, what the fuck is that?
The best part
No,
is
turn me
it
on.
squirts and he just lays back.
Go ahead. Start him off, baby.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a fellow masculine man in the house. He rolls
yeah.
like we do, does what we do. Got some big fucking arms on him.
Jacked.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Came all the way from Newport, dude. We thank you very much.
Appreciate it, boys.
I'm going to introduce him by his legal name. We got Gillum Bounds in the house.
Yeah.
AKA,
AKA.
Gil Billy, AKA half
Wolverine.
Marley, half Wolverine,
Yeah.
AKA Badass. Let's rock, dude.
What's up,
Let's go,
Papa?
boys. How you guys doing, man? Thank you guys for having me.
You kind of look a little like Dan Bilzerian.
Yeah, dude, I get that a lot, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
I get that a lot, dude, especially down in Newport. Who's this Dan Bilzerian, dude?
Yeah.
I was like, bro,
Especially roll up in one of them cars and shit.
Oh, dude, for sure. That's
Yeah.
where I get it the
Fucking
most.
Really?
supercars.
The girls are
Yeah,
just dropping their panties or
Yeah.
bent over.
Yeah.
Like,
Chone's
dude,
just wet.
right, dude, just,
like,
yeah,
here
well,
you go.
a lot of women don't wear chonies these days, so
Nice, nice.
ball straps at me.
Gorgeous.
Like, dude,
Do you ever
You know what's crazy?
encounter?
A chick told me one time. She goes, I was like, this is when Jake was sick. For the records, when Jake was Wild Boy.
He's still in there.
Dude. I go, well, this chick sent me messages. I'm like, what color panties are you wearing? She's like, what panties?
Ooh, touche.
Never gonna meet my mom.
Do you notice driving your nice cars or anything? Do you notice like the gold digger style, anything like
Oh,
that?
for sure, dude. It's
Yeah.
crazy, man. It's
It's real?
Yeah, dude. I got PTSD from women, dude. So when they come up, I'm just like, hey, I was like, you don't want me, dude. Trust me.
Yeah. Are you married by chance or
No, dude.
No?
No, divorced.
Single?
Divorced,
Are you
dude.
single?
Yeah, single.
Single as fuck?
Single as a Pringle, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
It is.
We like to put that
Yeah.
out. Jorge's single
Yeah.
over here. I don't know what he's up to lately, but hopefully
He's
he's
just a man whore.
Hey, go hang out with him, Jorge.
Yeah,
Hang
yeah,
out with
yeah,
Dan
right.
Bilzerian over here.
Yeah, dude. Go down to Newport.
Yeah.
That's his kind of women too.
He'll
Like,
make you some good edits.
Oh yeah, dude. No, yeah. You get in good shape. I was just figured, just be a trophy wife or something one day, dude. Being down there, man. I was like, it's crazy, dude. There's a lot of beautiful women there, and the diversity is pretty
Yeah,
insane,
nice.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially during summer, dude. You'd be surprised, dude. It's a lot of tourists, like from overseas. Like they start talking. I'm like, oh my gosh, the accent is fucking
Foreigners?
amazing.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
How are
the
you,
foreigners.
kid? How is you?
I'm in love.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
What's your
Yeah.
preferred taste, if you don't mind me? Or do
Honestly,
you not have one?
Dude, I don't have one, brother. It's like, dude, I've always been a little Rico
Quality
Suave since
steak
I was a
chicken.
kid, dude. So
Yeah.
it's, you know what I mean? I kind of fall in love with whatever starts twerking, I guess.
Yeah.
I was like,
He likes
That's a
all
slippery
31,
slope right there.
31
Yeah,
flavors.
yeah,
Let me
yeah.
try them all.
These
Yeah.
are quality.
Yeah.
dude, yeah.
I think he's looking for quality over there. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
for
Just-
sure, dude.
yeah.
Definitely nowadays.
Especially when you hit that, especially if you do the whole divorce thing.
Yeah.
At some point, I mean, Adam touched on it like a long time ago, one of our episodes. He talked about me, and he was like, he's like, it could be a baddie with, like, there could be a girl that comes up to Jake, and she could be a baddie and all that, and Jake's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we've already been there, we've done that, we've done the divorce thing. It's like, what do you bring? You know what I mean? It's like, besides your
100%.
looks and your wonderful ass and tits. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, dude. It's peace, dude. You know what I mean? That's what I really look for, man. Somebody who's not gonna be.
That's
you know,
the real truth of like,
Same.
man, you just want to go home with peace.
Yeah,
Like,
because
two
you know
peace.
we're putting out fires daily, dude, and I
Right.
travel a lot too, man. So I can't be getting stressed on stuff when I'm
Yeah.
gone, and You know what I mean? You didn't answer my phone. I hope it was worth it. I'm like, wait, what? I was like, dude, I'm working.
I don't
Yeah.
have time
You know
for
what I mean?
this.
Like,
Yeah, I don't have time.
I was just
FaceTime
telling
me now.
I was just telling my girl yesterday. I was like, "Do you realize when we fight, how fucked up you fuck my day up?"
Yeah, it's
I was like,
bad.
"Dude, I can't work straight. I can't fucking talk." I'm like, "Dude, because you just fucked me up all day." I was like,
Yeah.
fucking hate that stress. That's one
Yeah.
stress I do not want to have. You
A
know,
woman can make or break your day. I'm sorry
Dude,
to
for
say.
sure,
Like, if
bro.
you have
It's
a,
facts.
you know, like
It's
a
facts.
real woman
Yeah.
in your life, that's not like a little girlfriend fight, whatever, cool. But if you got a real chick in your life, she'll fuck your day up if she
Oh,
wants.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
the evil ones will, but
especially the
good
ones you care about. Too,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Because
yeah.
if it's some bitch you don't like, you're like, "Dude, fuck off," you know, and then you're out.
Yeah.
But like when it's yours, you know, your girl, you're like, "Fuck."
Well, you know,
dude.
like
Yeah.
I call him Cobra Commander, but you know, Andrew Tate, he said it one time. He goes, I've been around like billionaires, you know, he goes mob bosses, you name it, and he goes, they all have their women, their woman, and even their woman can make their fucking day a hell.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It was,
Yeah.
and I'm like, fuck, preach,
wild,
dude.
yeah.
It's preach because
Yeah.
you know, you said like. That whole chick that does the I'm a handful. Bye, bitch. Like,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
deuces
yeah.
can
Yeah,
walk.
you're gonna have to work for me.
Like, ain't
Shit.
nobody want that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, we want, like you said, we want to come home to peace. You know, like you
Yep.
said, we as men, we deal with a lot, man. We deal with a lot.
And that's
We're
the same girl that complains that she's single. She's like, "No one wants me."
Yeah,
You
I
know,
wonder
you're
why.
like, "What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking wonder why."
I
you know?
wonder why, bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
100%, man, dude. There's just, it's been, you know, there's great women out there, dude. So I don't want to,
100%.
sit there and, but you know, they're hard to find, dude.
They're
It's, you know
taken.
what I mean? Yeah. Usually they're taken.
Because a
or-
smart dude will fucking hold on to that girl. You know what I mean? It's like, "Oh, this is a
But
good girl."
I think there's also something to be said, like for a younger generation that I've been noticing, like for chicks, you got to invest in your man like early, because like a lot of chicks these days want the package. Like, oh, I want he got money, he works, he does this, he does that. They want it all, right?
right.
Well, the most of the time, the chicks that invest in their dude when he's nothing, they get all that, but it
Yes.
just takes time. You know what I mean? So when you're a younger chick and you guys are like looking for a dude, you want the whole package, like invest in something you see and stick with it, because usually that dude
Mhm.
right there, you'll
Mhm.
build him up to what you want him to be.
Mhm.
That's what I just. chip
Well, I
out-
mean, like dudes don't want a girl that's been ran through, right? It's
Right.
like, well,
I
then you
mean,
need to
yeah.
get them when they're young, because
Jorge,
Yeah, yeah.
they're gonna get ran through
Jorge,
eventually. if
those
they
are the
don't-
kinds we want right now. We
Yeah.
want for you, Jorge. Jorge needs to hit numbers right now.
Yeah.
We're all about
Number-
quantity, not
Well, it's
quality.
fucked up how for dudes it doesn't matter, right? And but for girls it fucking matters. What's
Yeah.
the? Have you heard the drink thing?
yeah,
they're like,
oh
I'd-
yeah, you can't put in but put out. Like where? You,
No, well, no, there's like the girl says the dude, like, how come you can sleep with 100 girls and I can't sleep with them? He's just like, you know, because if I had stick. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was if you fuck the same dude 100 times is the same thing as fucking 100 different people, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if I put my finger in your drink, you're gonna drink it after 100 people, or if it's just me, you know? And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's a good fucking
He
point.
was
You know?
sitting there- he was sitting there and he put his finger in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great like analogy of
Yeah.
how it works. You know
It
what I mean?
definitely is. What do you call it?
Double standard.
Double standard. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For it, but at the same point, sorry. You know, it is what it is.
A lot of women have the double standard, dude, and that's, you know what I mean. It's crazy, man. But you know, it's, you know, getting through that and different relationships that I've had. I mean, I've been toxic at one point too, man. You know what I mean? Like,
preach.
I was living that Will and Jennings lifestyle for years. You know what I mean? And it was just, man, the amount I could drink, dude, and just traveling for work and baptizing some bitches everywhere, dude. Like, it just wasn't the, you know, I was like, fuck, what am I doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, even training and stuff too, it's all great, but it's like a lot of it, I was bearing a lot of stuff with the training, you know what I mean? But then the drinking and stuff, you know, a lot of my fighting buddies, dude, that's a lot of people do end up struggling. It's all men,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They struggle to a point where you hit that, dude, and tragedies happen in life. You know, I lost my sister in 2011, you know, to malpractice, and, you know, it really tore me up, you know what
Wow.
I mean? And I just turned into a different person,
Yeah.
you know, so I was just letting it out in the wrong way. You know what I
Right,
mean? And
right.
self-medicating in the wrong way, you know? So I was on the pharmaceuticals, man. You know what I mean? I've had injuries, you know, they're all prescribed, you know what I mean? But dude, even that, dude, that was taking me down for years. You know what I mean? Oh, shit, my bad.
Keep talking, Gil. You're good.
There we go.
Gil, let's.
Appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
I'm super curious myself. I don't know you too well, like I think these two do, but for our listeners and whatnot, let's get into your story real quick. Give us your background, where you grew up.
Born and raised right here in Asper, California, man. Went to elementary, junior high, and high school up here. You know, I'm definitely a desert kid, dude. It's I've been out of here a few years, since like 2020, but you know, my family's still up here and stuff like that. So, and we're all competitors, dude. My brother Irvin, you know, he trained a bunch of UFC fighters for a long time. You know, Alex Reyes, Dominic Reyes, and stuff there back in the day, and Joe
Wait,
Stevenson, everybody.
Your brother what?
Irvin Bounds. So he was a
Did he
trainer.
used to do it, Joe Stevens?
Yeah,
Joe
he
Stevens?
is. Yeah, yeah.
So get the fuck out of here. So
Yeah.
check this out.
He's a big boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I met him. So
Yeah.
he went to one of my fights in It was in Vegas at Henderson, Nevada. Irvin was there, and he brought Kevin Randleman with him.
Oh yeah.
Kevin, former
Okay.
UFC heavyweight
Yeah.
champion.
Yeah, rest in peace, brother.
Rest in
Yeah,
peace,
yeah.
champ. You remember Kevin Randleman?
Yeah, yeah.
The Beast?
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh.
So
dude.
anyways,
They
I
don't,
went
they
there
don't
for...
make them like that no more.
Oh, dude,
No.
dude, him and Rampage,
Yeah.
when he knocked out Crow Cop.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
legend.
Yeah.
Who did he lose this title to? Boss Rutan. Boss Rutan beat him. For the
He was a
title.
killer too.
He was
Yeah.
all those
Come
old
on
school.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still
But it's
is a
crazy.
killer.
So
Yeah,
back to your bro, that's wild. So
Yeah.
I fought in Henderson, Nevada, and I ended up fighting this. So I remember your brother pulled me aside. So your brother's right there. Joe was there in the back. I remember he brought Joe with him with his daughter and his baby. I think it was baby girl, maybe boy. I don't know. But we're right there. I'm wrapping my hands. Kevin's talking to me. Your brother's right here, sitting down. I'm talking to Kevin because I'm starstruck.
Yeah.
And my trainer's like, who's my trainer? He's like, who's this fucking guy? And I'm like, relax, bro. It's former heavyweight champion of the world. He's like, what? What? Because they lay on the ground and squeeze each other's balls. He's an old boxing coach.
Yeah.
You know, they squeeze each other's balls. You know what I call that? I'm like, Al, can you relax? Man will beat your ass.
Yeah,
Like in a drop of a dime. I don't give a fuck. You think I sweat him? I'm like, relax, bro. So wrapping my hands. And then Kevin's giving me advice. And I remember I went out there. Kevin walked me to the ring. And I went to the fight. And I fought just stupid game plan. Stupid fucking game plan. And I remember I kept looking at my coach. I'm like, are you sure? Like, you want to do it this way?
Yeah.
Trust me. And I ended up losing by decision. And I was pissed, dude. Because, number one, I wanted to put on a show. I wanted to, first of all, I got Kevin Randleman in the crowd.
Yeah.
That's a legend to me. And I remember I sat down and I threw my fucking gloves off and I'm right there. And your brother came. Your brother sat with me. And I don't know if he remembers this, dude, but he goes, you could have won that fight.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I looked at your brother and he goes, you could have won that fight.
Yeah.
And I go, what do you think I did wrong? And your brother just started not name drop, but telling me
Yeah.
the techniques and this and that. Like I felt like you could have cut off the ring better. Like we were both on point. Like I went in with the wrong game plan. You know what I mean? The wrong, because believe it or not, in boxing, and it comes down to the fighter. But when you have that relationship with your coach, and your coach is telling you what to do, you're going to listen to him because that's the only voice that matters in that corner. You know what I mean?
100%.
And I remember I felt so let down, but I felt in my heart like that was the wrong game plan. But your brother was right there, man. He was consoling me. He really was. And I remember later on, he had me go into for sparring. He wanted to get me together with sparring, but we never really got back together. You know what I mean? We never really linked back up. But anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude. No, he's amazing, dude. When it comes to breaking down stuff, you know what I mean. He's definitely like straight to the point, dude. And he's real. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But he's good at mixing game plans and fighting, setting up depending on who you're fighting, dude. He knows the game plan to put together to basically take their strengths and make it a weakness. You know what I mean. And I'd love for him to get back into coaching, man. He's been out for a while, dude. But he's like, I don't want to babysit dudes, and because you never know what they're doing outside of training. It's not what we're doing in the gym. It's what are you doing when you get home?
Extracurriculars.
Yeah, dude, for sure, dude. Even
You
if
invest all this time into a fighter, right? And then he's all fucking around. And you're like, dude, what?
yeah,
we were supposed to stick to the plan, So that's
Yeah.
hard. That's babysitting. And we're
Well,
talking about it like that.
it's almost like a marriage.
100%.
You have to
dude.
work. You know what I mean? Like it's like you have
I would
to,
say more. I would say more like a father son.
Yeah,
In my opinion.
for
Yeah.
sure, dude. Yeah,
Like because you want to make sure you're because that's your guy. If I'm investing my time into you, and which is time is everything to me. If I'm investing that to you and I'm giving you what I know with all my years of fighting, and I want to see you apply it, and I'm very upfront. So right now I'm coaching now, and I love it. It's something totally different. I love it. I love giving my knowledge to somebody else, and but the one thing I always say is he's like, hey, coach, what do you want me to do this week? Well, I want you to do this. I want you to do that. I want you to make sure we had at least 2 to 3 days of running.
yeah.
Because I'm going to see when we get in this ring.
Oh,
And I'm working
100%.
the pads. And if you're huffing and puffing after 3 rounds, we got a problem. 'Cause
Yes.
You're not doing what you're told. And I'll find out, but like you said, I can relate to that, how he says, like, it's because it's a worry. Because I know when I do things, I do everything with pride. And I'm putting my time and into you. I want you to perform. And I don't want, like you said, it's you're worried in the back of your mind about, like, are you dicking around?
Yeah.
It's a really big I can see that. I can understand that.
No, for sure. And the way he pushes guys, dude, it's like the Kumite, dude. You know what I mean? Straight blood sport, dude. But you got to really push yourself hard in training. I mean, really, the training is the hardest part. The fight should be easy.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And it's like it shows with a lot of these guys too, man. When they show up to even the scale. You know what I mean? It's like you want to be on point with these weight cuts, which I'm not huge on. I'm now knowing what I know nowadays, dude. I would not be doing big weight cuts no more, dude. It's just it fucks you up. You know, my boy Dominic Reyes, I don't think he cuts much weight at all. You know what I mean? I think he's walking around at 210.
Got a
maybe.
fight coming up.
Yeah,
He's
actually
on a
fighting for
he's on a streak right now. If he gets this win, he's probably
Dude.
he's
He
right
beat
entitled.
John Jones.
for the number one contender.
Well, that's a very controversial fight.
I thought he beat John
He
Jones.
probably gave him
Yeah.
the best fight.
And ever.
Yeah.
I think Gustafson's first fight was.
That's a good
but
point.
Yeah.
The
those
first-
like as far as putting John Jones in a real uncomfortable situation, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the game plan we copied was the Gustafson fight.
Dude, he
You know
cracked
what
that motherfucker in the stomach and knocked him on his ass. Like you've never seen that in your whole life.
Yeah.
But he's a stud. You could tell he's always said it though. Like in his interviews, he's like, I can move different than guys my size. Like he's real
It's-
athletic and like
yes,
limber, and he
yes.
can do stuff like a 155er can do, but he's 205, 210.
I would
Yeah.
love. Do you
Yeah.
think, since you know him like that, one of the questions I would want to ask Dominic is, do you think? Because I know for me personally, I've been in that situation to where I've trained. Like you said, the hardest part is training. The fight should be easy, and
Yeah.
I've gone in there, given my all, and to have a judge just go, no.
Yeah, no, that's
Did that hurt him?
Oh, for sure, dude.
Mentally?
Yeah, and he kind of jumped in pretty quick.
I thought
after
so.
that, a
I
little
thought
bit
so.
too quick.
Like
You know,
Rosenstrike, correct?
Yeah,
That's right.
he talks about it. He's like, I probably should have took a little bit more time off on that one, you know, and maybe not jumped into one. But you know, those are things that you got to kind of live with, man. You know what I mean? And sometimes even with regret, dude, in life, you know, we always live with that, but we got to let it go and move on. So
That's right.
I know mentally how it can mess you up, and I know he was kind of bouncing around from different camps, and that's not really the best neither. 'cause
No.
next coach is going to try to change you up and make you
Yeah,
a different
yeah,
fighter,
God,
and
yeah.
that could really affect you, man. And he went back to, you know, old school. He's, you know, out of his garage and cross training with certain dreams, and
That's
you know what I
right.
mean. So he went back to the, you know,
What got him to the dance?
yeah, for sure. And look at what he's on
'Cause
right
he
now.
was
dude.
he's always with Joe Stevenson.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
long. That's
yeah.
his main like that team.
Yeah, I think
Cobra
so.
Kai.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's been up there for, you know, with them for a few years, and you know, Joe's awesome, man. You know what I mean? It's
Is
I've
Joe
known-
still local right here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've actually known Joe since I was a kid, dude. So he's been around our family a long time, man.
Yeah.
Awesome
First one,
dude, and he
man.
went through a lot himself. You know what I mean? I think he's been sober, off drinking for a
Good
while,
for
dude.
him.
You know what I mean?
Because
And
he won the first Ultimate Fighter, correct?
Yes.
I,
And
yeah,
he was
I think
like
it was the first or
not the first
second
one.
one.
But
I
he
think
was
it the
like
second one.
heavy, like two.
No. Joe was lightweight.
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
no,
but
he
I
came
don't know.
into the show.
Yeah, he was a
heavy.
big boy. Like
Was
he
he
was.
light heavyweight?
No.
He was
he
like
fights at 55, but
Yeah.
he walked in I think at 230.
Yeah,
He was
yeah, like bro, he was
Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
back then, and then he started like scaling down, and he became an animal. Like
Yeah.
I remember people couldn't deal with his strength.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
could
no.
not early in the game when like you'd watch his fights, and he would just maul you like how like Khabib, but like not as. Khabib had more of his technique to it, you know what I mean? Where he, but dude, Stevenson would just outpower you and maul you down, like do whatever he wanted to.
I remember when he
Yeah,
ran
dude.
into Penn, man. Oh,
Yeah.
There was nobody beating that guy.
Yep.
Nobody was beating that guy at that time. He was just beat when he fought BJ. That was when BJ. See, people talk about Khabib as the greatest lightweight all time. Nah, homie. When BJ Penn was
The prodigy,
that
Yeah.
guy,
he would go up to He would go up to
bro.
170 and win. Like he
Well, he
took
beat-
Matt
tapped
Hughes.
out Matt Hughes.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You couldn't knock him out back in the day. He would
Yeah.
take whatever you gave him. He'd just look at you like you're like fuck.
You know he
Yeah.
fought Machida
Yeah. He fought Machida, I think, at like
heavyweight.
Yeah. It was
at
it was,
heavyweight in Hawaii.
Really?
Which is
Yeah.
crazy to think.
Lyoto Machida, bro.
And it was a fight.
It was decision. He didn't get knocked out. He fucking stood his ground. That's BJ Penn.
Yeah.
But like I said, when Joe fought him,
That was
there was no getting past that man. That man
Yeah.
could jump out of a swimming pool. Did you ever see that?
yeah.
Where
Yeah.
he was unbeatable. He was
Yeah.
unbeatable.
He was doing, you know, the game plan was good with him, and you know he's holding his wrist, and he came over at that little elbow that barely scraped him and
Yeah.
ripped him wide open.
That was it.
I think that is still the bloodiest fight in UFC.
Oh,
you know what
hands down.
Like, it's-
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
couldn't
He
see his
he was red.
face.
Yeah.
You
He
couldn't.
was red. Dude, his
Nothing.
short.
Stevenson's
His
whole
body's
like
red.
he was red.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
And then that just affects everything because you can't grapple. You can't. You're
Slippery.
soaking wet. You know,
Yeah.
at that point, it's just a pain in the ass. So,
Yeah.
oh, it
Stevenson
sucked,
had
dude.
some battles though in there.
Oh, dude, he was the
Oh,
man.
yeah.
He was the first from the HD to really be the man to come out. You know, and then I know Ryan Garcia started his thing.
Well, what's
and
his
then
name?
Dominic.
I think a little before him, or maybe
one?
Wildman Denny.
I think
Oh,
Tom, he
yeah,
knocked
yeah,
on
yeah.
the door.
but he
Yeah.
didn't make
Joe
it. Like,
walking
but he
through.
was skilled. He was a
Yeah.
badass.
I used to spar at his
Yeah.
camps.
Yeah, I remember Wildman too, man. Team Wildman right there, and
Yeah.
WCG and
He
Ted
used to
Williams and all
split his
those
hair
guys.
like a
Yeah.
two-color.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a character, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brandon the Beast Baker there.
Yeah, dude.
Brian
Yeah,
Baker. You know,
yeah.
he got cancer.
You know what? I
got
did
cancer.
hear that, dude, and he was amazing too, man.
Oh.
yeah,
He was one of those guys I felt like should have definitely been either in Pride or at least the UFC. You know,
100%.
Yeah, I think
dude.
he was slept on a lot, like something. But he was really talented for being out of here.
Yeah, no, dude, the high desert creates a grip
Killers.
of talent, dude.
Killers,
you know what I
man.
mean? And people ask that, dude. I'm like, dude, it's the elevation up here. It's you know, you don't really have nothing to do. The weather's
Right.
extreme. You know what I mean? The summer and the
So
winter. so.
inside activity, people
Did
are
you
all
ever?
about
Did you
it.
ever fight? Train?
Yeah,
Did you
no,
ever get-
I've always trained, dude. I was never, you know, I procrastinated quite a bit. Like, oh, I'll do it next. You know, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try it this time. And you know, I procrastinated quite a bit, dude. And you know, I was in the cannabis space at that time too, so I was looking at the money compared to you know
Yeah.
what I was making.
It'll-
And then on
it'll
top of
ruin
it, dude, a lot of it's on you when it comes to that, dude. So you can't afford injuries. You know, fighting is very tough, dude. It's not an easy sport. Once you get to the top, it's not like you get to the UFC and you just made it. You got to earn your stripes in there first before you get those contracts.
Especially the UFC when Joe was there.
Oh yeah,
The
for sure.
UFC now, to me, is more, in my opinion, is soft.
Yeah.
I
It,
feel
it
like
used to be like Nike, only the certain people, like, you know,
yeah,
the badass athletes.
remember when
yeah.
it was a spectacle. Remember,
Yeah.
like the UFC, there was like what 5 pay-per-views a year, maybe 4. I
Yeah.
mean, fuck, 3 on the low end.
I don't even think there used to be top 10 in the weight class because there was
No.
so like not so many people in
But
each.
it was
Yeah.
the ultimate, like that was the cream of the crop. Like especially like I said,
Yeah, yeah.
when Joe was there, fuck, dude. Like, dude, think of the champions that were there and during that
Yeah.
era. Where now I feel like it's more. To me, it's just softer. It's more. It's I don't know. It's not what it used to be.
I agree with you on that, man. You know, it's definitely, it's definitely changed, dude, for sure. And there's a fight like every other day now, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Every
you know what I mean?
weekend there's something going
There's
on.
like,
Did you see CBS just bought, right? CBS just bought all the UFC. for
Yeah.
the
I
I
next
think it's
season and all that.
Paramount.
Oh,
No, Paramount.
Well,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think CBS Paramount, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe so, yeah.
But yeah,
Paramount.
so now it's gonna be all on Paramount. But
Yeah.
they say no more pay per view. You just have to
Yeah.
subscribe to
Which is kind of
Paramount.
dope.
Yeah.
But we'll see if they don't have surcharges and whatever they do with it. You know what I mean?
Right,
get
that
the money
app is
from
about to
somehow.
go.
Everything's
up a
about
couple bucks.
everything's
yeah.
about money these
the
days.
back
That's all
end.
it's about. From
Yeah.
top to bottom.
Well, it's wild is like when you pay for a fucking app like Amazon or something like that, and then you still have to pay for a movie.
Yeah.
They say we're
Yeah.
going backwards now, right? Because that's how television used to be, right? And then it all like we went away from it, and then now we're kind of going back to that field. There's commercials again.
Yeah.
There's like you got to pay for the fucking service, and then now you got to pay for the movie.
Even Netflix has. If you don't want commercials, you have to upgrade.
Yeah.
Really?
YouTube
On
too,
Netflix,
man.
yeah.
You know what I mean? All my
Since
music.
when is
yeah.
that?
Yeah, it just started. Just
Oh, did
They
you
slip
see?
it in. They
Did
slip
you-
it
did-
in every once in a
Did
while.
you see you starting October 1st? You can no longer share Amazon accounts. They will only ship to one address per account.
That's weak.
Bro, you know how many people share Amazon accounts? That's gonna be nuts.
yeah, but they're being greedy. Like they're gonna lose business because of it. You know, people would still shop and order, but now that they have to get their own, it's not even that bad though. Like there's a lot of perks of Prime having Prime.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Prime, dude. I like that. Paramount's awesome too because all the cool shows they got. I just watched Landman.
Pretty
Oh,
good.
Landman's
Yeah.
great, dude.
Landman was cool.
Season 2's coming out here
And,
soon. So
dude, because my partner with Air's agency, Mitch, a bull, we manage like UFC fighters, bare knuckle, and power slap. So-
Dude, that's why I like I like Prime because there's a lot of BKFC.
Yeah, dude,
Dude,
bare
you-
knuckles. Where
it's
I'm a huge
bitchin'.
fan of that.
We
My
had
name's-
Andrew Angelcore on here. He was from Barstow.
yeah.
Oh, dude, he was a blast. He
bro,
was
that
super
slap shit, bro.
Yeah.
I cannot get behind.
Why?
Dude.
I feel like my mom would
Bro,
dominate
it's
there.
like-
It's brutal, dude.
It's brutal, dude.
Yeah, it is. You
You
see
know?
their whole face change.
Bro,
Yeah.
let my
Yeah.
mom show up there in her fucking apron. She'll deck a motherfucker.
Yeah, dude, straight up,
I'd be
dude.
like,
Yeah,
"Mom."
mine too, man. Mine too. That's probably the hardest person I've ever been hit by is my mom.
Same,
so.
same.
Like,
Damn
everybody
near
else-
70 fights for me, G.
Yeah,
And fucking,
yeah.
my mom hit me the hardest. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so you
I
know,
wanna live with Dad.
Yeah, bare knuckle, I love it, dude. You know, my name Gillum is actually my dad's uncle, and he was actually a famous bare knuckle fist fighter.
Dope.
You know what I mean? So it was like it's kind of crazy seeing bare knuckle come to where it is right now. My dad was a pro boxer, or not pro, but boxed for the Marines and stuff as well. So that's how we got into martial arts and stuff in general. He wasn't a big fan of MMA because the
Old school.
kicks and
Old
the
school.
elbows. He's like, "You kidding me, boy? They're kicking you. Have you seen a horse?" I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, one of
Did you
them.
ever
That's what I did.
Did you ever see that movie with Stallone, Grudge Match, with him and Robert De Niro? When
Oh
they're
yeah,
old
yeah,
boxers?
yeah, yeah,
And they had Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen, great fighter.
yeah.
And
Logan, too,
they're,
yeah.
they're at the UFC, and he goes, "You're not a fan." Robert De Niro goes, "I'm not a fan of this. It reminds me of like that pro wrestling bullshit." And then
Yeah.
and then Stallone goes, "Yeah, if you want to go around and see guys lay on the ground, squeeze each other's balls, go to
Yeah.
his fucking bar."
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
and then he's all, we just had a name for guys that kick when they fought. It was called girls.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, dude, like I said, my old boxing trainer. These
Yeah.
fucking.
Did you
guys.
see
Yeah.
Chael got tapped out in karate combat jiu-jitsu?
Dude, he
No.
got put to sleep.
Dude,
He got put to sleep.
like he
dude.
looked like he was gonna. Who was he? That's that real popular guy.
Craig Jones, I think
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, yeah.
So they like Chael grabbed him, hold him, and put him on the ground real quick, and all of a sudden he did this crazy old move with his leg. And fucking
Yeah.
Craig Jones is BJJ, right?
yeah, he's a
Yeah.
badass.
They
Yeah,
say he's
yeah.
number 2 behind Gordon.
Gordon's
I don't
sick
think
too, man.
Gordon's-
They say Gordon's the GOAT, dog. That's
yeah,
what
but
they
I don't
say.
think he's competing right now, right?
I don't think so.
He
neither.
got sick
I think
and-
something happened to him.
Yeah, something's
Too
going on.
much
with him.
gear. That's what I heard.
Dude, he was massive, and they show pictures of him now. I'm like, oh, dude, poor guy. Like, but Craig Jones tapped out Chael, like, put him to sleep.
Yeah,
Chael grabbed him, threw him on the ground, like, started roughing him up, and fucking Craig Jones, all of a sudden, he was asleep.
Wow.
yeah, and that was a sneaky submission too. That he
Dude,
put
I've
on. He
never
didn't
even-
even see it coming, dude.
No.
And next thing you know, he's out. So
Yeah.
the guy's
Go,
like
go back.
telling
Go
him-
back to pop boxing. Go talk to me, baby. Your pop was a boxer.
Yeah, so boxing. So he was in 30 years in the Marines. My dad served under Chesty Puller in the Marines, so World War II in Korea.
Dope.
You know, so if you guys should believe it, he had me in his 70s. You know what I mean? So it's just great genetics on that side. You know, on my dad's side, we're Choctaw Indian, Scottish, and Welsh.
Jesus.
And then my mom's Samoan and Tongan. So it's like, you know, yeah.
Oh
so,
shit, you got Samoan in you?
Yeah, dude.
You
Dude,
guys
I
are
could
see it.
beasts,
I could
bro.
see it.
When
I
I
can see it.
met him, his
Especially with
brothers
mom.
came out where they're huge. Like, we had to go pick him up or drop him off one day for baseball, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. He's like, I'm the little brother. I'm like, I can tell, dude. Like,
yeah.
How many siblings you got? Your brother and
Yeah, so we have 5 in this family, and we got another 5 of my dad's first family.
oh shit,
Yeah,
Your
so-
dad was a
Family.
stud, just sending out
Laying
that
pipe.
gene.
Sending
Yeah.
out
Yeah,
troops.
dude. Yeah, dude. No, man. When he found my mom, he's telling his ex, I'm gonna find somebody younger and some good kids, and made some strong kids, and he did. You know what I mean? So all of us are, have been ridiculously gifted, dude. All my brothers and stuff like that
Yeah.
too. So my brothers Irvin and Joe, they're more better, with everything but baseball. Baseball was one of our first loves for sure.
Because all you guys played, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So, I wish I would have, as a youngster, I probably should have. I was always a little rebel of the family. You know what I mean? And loved working on cars more than anything else. And got into street racing and stuff pretty young, and built a couple cars. And my first street racing ticket was at 13 up here. You know what I
Nice.
mean? So it was like I snuck the car out, so my parents didn't know. And then we're
Pushed it
leaving
down
the
the
parking
street.
lot. Yeah, dude. And the cop pulled me over. He's like, license registration. And I'm on the registration with my dad as a secondary, but then I hand him my junior high ID. He was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me, dude?" He's like, "What the fuck?"
You're an
He's like,
officer.
yeah.
I'm being honest.
Get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah. So he didn't tow the car or nothing. He gave me a ticket and then followed me home.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
And
cool. That's
so,
old
yeah.
school up here.
Yeah, dude. Back then it was
Yeah.
different, dude. It was
Yeah.
a whole lot different, man. Like
Fuck yeah.
where it is now, dude. It's crazy. It's always been Wild West up here, but it's definitely a lot more rowdy for sure.
Yeah,
but-
you gotta be easy.
Yeah, you got to be careful up here now, dude. It's like, geez, dude. The road rage too. It's not just here. It's everywhere. Newport, everywhere I drive, dude. It's crazy the people the way they are, man. These cars are super fast, and people just don't respect it. You know what I mean? And yeah, I try not to engage in any type of road rage now because you never know what someone's going through. They might
Hello?
be trying to go to
100.
emergency, whatever,
Yeah.
dude. With everything going on, especially since the China flu hit, it's just everybody kind of took a toll on that one, dude. You know what I mean?
agree.
So.
Yeah.
Mental health is big for me, dude. So that's why I try to, be a lot more patient and, not let the beast out as much. You know what I mean? Because now as the older I get, dude, I'm just like, man, it's not worth it no more, man. You know what I mean? You just never know, dude. You see these,
You never know what somebody's going through.
No, dude, and yeah, like what we were saying earlier, dude, talking about you could be going through relationship issues, family issues. You know what I mean? Financial struggle, whatever, and. You tip the wrong guy, dude, and he's just at the breaking point, just like, fuck you, dude, and just sees his ex-wife's face on you, like, fuck this guy, like, you know what I mean? And
You seen that one where that cop pulled over the guy who's having a real bad day, and he's like, "All right, man, like, you need a hug?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, I do." Like, the cop like gave him a hug, gave him some love, and let him go on his way.
yeah,
But like, it was cool to see that because sometimes as a man, you need a little support.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't care who
100%,
you
dude.
are.
Yeah,
You need a little something from somebody, and it just came from a stranger.
yeah,
So instead of shitting on him or challenging him, he showed him appreciation.
yeah, that's why I try to show everybody, treat them with kindness, respect, of course, right out the bat, and you never know, you could change somebody's day just in a simple conversation. You know what I mean? And just you never know what they're going through. Next thing you know, I enjoy it when people open up, dude, and they start talking to me, and I could sit there and relate on certain things, and the biggest thing too, is just making them laugh. You know what I mean? I like to make people laugh and make it lightly, even in a
Right.
serious situation, dude.
I
Because
agree.
taking things too serious, I've noticed that in my life where I stopped doing that. I'm like, dude, just enjoy the ride while you're here.
Yeah,
Blessing
for
just to
sure,
be
man.
up today, being here on the show with you guys, and
Tomorrow's
chatting.
gonna come.
Did you
For sure.
did you learn that after like going through the bullshit with your divorce?
Yeah, so between that, dude, and really kind of realizing once, I had a little falling out with my son like a sophomore year, and that's what really kind of hit me, dude, because I was living in Canyon Lake, and I was making really good money, dude, and I still wasn't happy. You know what I mean? But
Of course.
I noticed my drinking, and I was like, you know what, dude, I got in a bad roofing accident, and I was like, man, dude, I don't want to take these pills no more, man. I don't want to be on this. And I've been off and on painkillers most of my adult life. And, that's when I realized, dude, it's like the amount I could drink was insane. You know what I mean? And it would be straight liquor. And I'd find myself putting, tequila and stuff in my coffee, rolling out to a job site. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I can't keep doing that. And I got a ton of injuries, dude. That's, another reason why I procrastinated on going pro. You know what I mean? I was around some of the greatest guys, dude, and legends, dude. So it's, it was one of those things that I wasted my talent procrastinating. You know what I mean? And that's why I tell youngsters now, dude, don't procrastinate. If you got a gift and a talent, don't give up on it. Yeah, just take that leap, man, because you're going to end up being an old timer like me, dude, at 38, you're looking back going, dude, everything I could have been. You know what I mean? And not in a bad way, taking the lessons from that, dude, and being able to pass this down to these youngsters, dude, because a lot of these kids now are lost. Nobody has trades anymore, which is crazy to me. You know what I mean? Especially
that's where the money's going to be soon.
Yeah, dude.
Trade work.
Yeah,
real masculine men work.
Yes, and that's not going nowhere. That's not something that AI could take over. Is the hard labor and getting out there, dude. So I advise them. With auto mechanics, you know what I mean. That's going out the window. The loss of art, building cars. We're actually building a car. We have a shop down in Irvine, Estrella Motorsports, that we acquired in July. So was a wheel and tire WTC. So. We're remodeling that currently right now. We're almost done.
Like, what type of auto? Accessories, sport, customization?
Anything, custom, dude. Full customs. I like to call them fuck you builds, you know what I mean? Taking an exotic and making it even better. Okay. You know what I mean? Adding 1,000 horsepower and wide body.
Is that why you moved to Newport in 2020?
Yeah.
So start a car.
So down there, man, it's a lot more car mecca, for sure. And then it was always a dream of mine to have my own shop, you know what I mean? And again, getting away from racing and stuff really put a void, dude. Because for me, I love training and stuff for your mental health and staying busy in that level. But I'm a gearhead, you know what I mean? I like making stuff fast or fixing people's stuff. I mean, I don't really like working on stock stuff. So it's like, but you know what I mean? Anything to add power to it or do something cool to it is always been a good niche of mine, and I'm a hell of a driver too. So you know what I mean?
You mind telling us what you were doing with cannabis at all? Or?
Cannabis just growing, man. I was in the grow space, you know what I mean? Partnered up with a few guys on a couple of different dispensaries back in the day, down in San Diego. But it was laws changed so quick, and it was a golden era, should I say, of that. And getting out in 2019, I thought was just the best for me at that time. Yeah. And I didn't think, obviously, we weren't expecting COVID right after that, and I was in construction as well, Peck General. So, and we're essential, man, but it was hard to even get people to come work, man. Tradesmen and stuff, it was easy, but, the younger guys, everybody started getting their checks and,
stay home.
Yeah. And then job sites too, man. I mean, look at plywood and stuff was super high, dude. And, you leave it at a job site, you come the next morning, it's gone. And you can't go back to the customer and be like, oh, by the way, it got stolen. They already paid for that. So
and that was just particle board.
Yeah, dude, I was tripping out, dude. You know what I mean?
It was crazy expensive.
That's when people were flexing on the freeway. You see a trailer of plywood, you're like, oh man, look at this guy.
Yeah, that's $1 million trailer right there.
This guy over there flexing on everyone. Yeah. So
crazy how the world works, man. What that thing did to everything.
It affected a lot of people, man.
The whole world.
It's like people are just trying to push under the rug everyone that was wrong. About it, you know?
It's like it doesn't even feel normal. Even 5 years later, like nothing's gone back to normal.
It's all like I feel like the world was so like at fast pace that it slowed everything down.
100%, dude.
It shut the world down.
But like it literally slowed everything down because everything used to be at your fingertips, cheap. You get it quick, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's like a little different. You got to navigate.
It's definitely a big shift. Yeah.
Yeah, it shifted everybody and putting everybody, in what is it? Whatever their lockdown, man. It was crazy, dude. It's like you couldn't go to a park. I remember we went over here to the college and we were playing baseball, but we're playing like over the line.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And here comes security rolling in like, you guys can't be playing. I'm like, for what, dude? It's like, you're not wearing masks and you guys, we're social distancing, man.
Nobody's close to each other.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. Like, and he was like, made a huge deal about it, dude. I'm like, dude, he's calling the police, dude. Like, all right, let's get out of here.
What scares me the most about COVID is it just goes to show how easily the government can manipulate us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How easy it was for them just to make.
But not everybody was.
Not everybody, but.
Not everybody fell for it. Yeah. I think the first couple weeks, the real critical thinkers were like, this is bullshit.
Oh, I have a good point to bring up to you. I've been meaning to think about this. So the guy we talk about with the moon and all that stuff, that he says is a scientist and works for NASA and bounces lasers.
Yeah.
He also takes the fucking jab and believes in the boosters.
Yeah.
Just point that out to you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a fact. Like I was like, Joe, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you know what, dude? When they made it mandatory, because I've always been a little rebel, dude. So I was like, once they made it mandatory, I was like, well, why? I was like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
They got commercials like, you can come get a cheeseburger and we'll give you a free
Yeah,
meal. I was like,
remember
what the
that
fuck,
shit?
Dude? I was like, dude, are you kidding me? I was like, if it was some chocolate chip
So,
cookies, I'd probably fall
on the
for
other
it.
end, because did anybody get that here?
No.
No.
Okay. So like on the other end, like getting it and then realizing it wasn't real, like what do you?
How stupid
how would
do
you
you
feel?
feel?
Like how do you?
And your heart,
Yeah.
her heart.
Dude, so I've asked people that, and dude, I would say it's a 50-50. Either I fucked up or I like the other 50% is like, but then I feel bad for the people who do get it and they're like, fuck, I fucked up. I don't want to make them feel shittier, right? So, I'm like, dude, I'm sure you're fine, you know what I mean, or whatever. But, which I'm sure most people are going to be fine, right? Otherwise, everyone would just be dropping like flies if it was that bad, right?
Well, I think
but obviously, there might be some long-term effects we don't know about.
I think it did its job by taking out the ones that did, because a lot of people got the jab and then they die. Back in the middle of COVID,
and those people. So you mean to tell me like when it was like stronger when they were putting it in people, or
when it was mandatory?
Because remember, like LeBron's son passed out
when they're forcing it down your throat. I say, you know what I mean? That's when you notice like people get COVID, they get they had the shot, they died. It's like a cocktail to me.
Yeah,
they died of COVID.
Yeah,
it's like what?
Right.
So
well, like you started seeing some athletes have random heart attacks and
youngsters.
I was just gonna say, a lot of people got sent to retirement. You know what I mean?
What? Well, I'm sorry.
Athletes. Yeah,
Got
there's a lot of
sent to
athletes
retirement?
that couldn't.
Yeah, because like their body
because
was
they had to
changed.
get the jab to play or be in the sport still, and then afterward, like I think it's all of your genetic makeup. You know what I mean? How it affects you.
Yeah. I also think you know how they were saying everyone's dying of COVID, but we're like, hold up. Dude,
numbers
these
came
guys
out
already
later.
had heart issues,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Same thing with the jab, though. Some of those people, you're like, wait, did they die because they got the? Who fucking knows, dude? So it's so
Well,
hard.
I know
You just kinda-
people who got vaccine injured for sure. I know people.
Yeah, same
I know, dude. One of my homies, he's fucking nuts. So they were doing it on the docks. They were offering incentives, like, oh, if you get the jab, we'll put an extra $200 on your check,
Really?
or $250 on your check, or $300 on your check. Let me tell you something about my boy. My boy loves pussy, and he loves his strange. You know what I mean? Yeah, he had the wife and family at home, but he loved his strange. So what he would do, dude, this motherfucker would be like, fuck it. He get it, and he take those money, he take all his whores out. And I'm like, you could just work overtime.
Yeah.
You'd be like, no, it's cool. It's quick cash.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, dude, you're not worried about like, he goes, dude, I fuck without condoms. You think I'm scared of anything? I'm like, good point.
So he got multiple jabs to get paid.
Bro, this fool got like almost $2,000 in jabs.
No.
Yeah. He was like, give it to me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Where's my money? I'm like, you don't have to do this. Like, you don't have to do. Yeah, dude.
He's still there working.
No, he got fired. He got fired. Poor
So did he
bastard.
die or something?
No, he's all right. But he's just, he was like, but he was going back to it because he was one of the dudes who originally, I would say, when it all happened, like in the beginning, like nobody knew what the fuck was going on. And I remember I was listening to Rogan and he had this doctor on, I forgot his name, and he was breaking down what it could possibly be. And he was like, just in case, blah, 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 this and that. So, I feel like everybody in the beginning, everyone was like being cautious to see what was going on. And then later on, as the weeks went around, this is what blew my mind. You're over here telling us that we're going to shut down the fucking world because of this disease that's supposedly killing everybody. How the fuck can you sit there and say I'm deemed, what was it? Importance, or what was the term for it? You still had to go to work?
You were.
Oh yeah. What was cannabis called? Remember during that time? They're like, oh, this is that's why
essential.
Essential. I was an essential worker.
Yeah.
I was an essential.
Jeez.
I was deemed essential.
Yeah.
So I'm like, motherfucker. So
Did you know it? Yeah.
why'd you say
He
it?
just
Yeah.
starts laughing. He's like,
Yeah.
these fucking idiots.
Yeah, well, say it, you fucking shoot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you see the
yes.
banners on the side of the hospitals, thank the essential workers.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so I was deemed one because we were dock workers. We had motherfuckers were killing each other for toilet paper, and
Yeah.
like we had to have.
Didn't you say the warehouse was full of toilet paper at one point? And I
Yeah,
was
we're
like,
just like.
why is there so much toilet paper?
I'm like, we're gonna start slanging. But I remember, with us, like we went there, and I remember everyone wore. Dude, I'm working in the heat. I gotta wear a fucking mask. Like, dude, people were. It was. I mean, we had crews coming in from Texas because, like you said, the youngsters were getting checks, and they were like, "You mean to tell me all I gotta say is I got COVID and I gotta come to work?
Yeah.
Like, you mean to tell me you're gonna pay me what I get paid?" And I don't have to go sweat my ass off in 125-degree trailers. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And there was people playing the system. So for us, who didn't give a fuck, who just were there to work. And you know, we were picking up extra loads, extra days. I mean, like how you guys said you guys killed it during COVID, motherfucker. I was making money during COVID. Like, you can ask Omar. We were.
Well, so think about it. All those dudes that were sitting at home getting paid, they're buying weed.
Yep.
So dude, weed sales went crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I remember, dude, we didn't have enough.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. We just
Adrian,
sell.
my sister, Adrian was hustling for. I
Bro,
forgot.
everybody was at home smoking, chilling, didn't have to go to work. They had money. You're like,
Boom.
there you go.
Wasn't Amazon
Boom.
killing it? Amazon was killing it because people were buying shit. Like, but it seemed like for those people in the beginning, like I said, that me were deemed essential. You know, like, motherfucker. So after, like, me and a lot of my younger guys who were under me on the docks, you know, they wanted to go hoop, they wanted to go play basketball, and they couldn't go because 24 was closed.
Yeah.
And this place was closed. So we went to the basketball hoop outside over there past the railroad tracks on D Street. What was that?
Evadale.
Yeah, Evadale Park. We're all, you know, that's the ghetto. Fool. So after work, we're all there, dude. I remember all of us. You know, I'm there. I'm smoking a joint. My boys are out there. My youngsters are playing basketball, and we're all chilling, we're listening to music. And cops roll up, right? And they're like, "Hey, you guys, it's COVID, blah blah blah." Dude, we all looked at them. We're like, "We're the essential workers, bro. You send us to work every day with this fucking disease."
Yeah.
You think we're fucking scared to come out here and play basketball? You know what I mean? Like, then they left us alone, dude. They didn't bother us. They took off. And we were out there, dude. And that's how my guys were able to, like, clear their mind. You know what I mean? Like, after a hard day's work of fucking 80 hours a week, they'd be like, "Hey, boss, you want to go? We're going to go to the park and hoop. You want to?" Like, yeah, let's go. And, like, dude, all of us were out there. They were out there just chilling, shooting hoops. People were out there barbecuing. Like, nobody bothered us. And that was, like, our little secret hide of all the bums. They walked up and said, "What's up?" You know what I mean? We gave them a piece of meat or something.
Do you see they have that, like, bum housing thing back there now?
No.
It's like a little, I don't know what it's called, but they have, like, little units where they stay and they shower, and it's like they keeps them off the street.
Yeah. I know the homeless thing. That
Is
pretty
it bad
insane,
down there
dude.
by you? They say the beach cities get pretty because it's nice weather.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if I was going to be homeless, I'd try to get to, like, Colorado or something. You know what I mean? Somewhere else. I was like, dude, I want to be homeless in the high desert. I'll tell you that. But you know what I mean? It's crazy, man. Seeing on, you know, what so much has changed since coronavirus, and then figuring out, you know, this homeless problem, dude. There's a lot of homeless vets, and that's what we're actually targeting too. Is there's a lot of veterans that, you know, are lost, sick, and afflicted, man. So we have a ranch up in Paso Robles, Estrella Ranch. And that's what we're focusing on is being able to, you know, help get these guys, you know, detox, cleaned up, get them ready to go, get them a new mission, dude. Because a lot of these veterans, that's all they need is a new mission, dude.
Direction.
You know? Yeah, dude. Because, you know, honestly, they do all this time for our country. Even my dad, you know what I mean, with how decorated he was. And it's like, you know, they just give you a few bucks and some medicine, a slap on the ass. Like, oh, yeah, you know, go be a regular civilian now. And they struggle, you know, without a retirement. A lot of guys I know who got forced in retirement from physical injuries or whatever during duty, you know, they do struggle. You know what I mean? And it's like they got to find a different niche, man. And putting them in with regular people and regular jobs is not always the best, you know. So trying to get them, you know, and with programs that we want to start out there for, you know, plumbing and, you know, electrical, and then auto mechanics. That's why the shop in Irvine is predicated. It's Estrella Motorsports and Estrella Ranch. So everything's powered by Estrella. You know what I mean? So we're excited for that, you know, and you know, with holistic healing, you know, with myself, you know, I never did psychedelics till a couple years ago, dude. Yeah. And never did mushrooms, nothing, dude. And it really changed my life. It got me off the painkillers.
Right.
And it really got me focused. You know what I mean? So, but you got to respect that too. I've taken too many sometimes too. Like, you know.
So what are you doing?
Who hasn't?
You doing like daily microdosing?
Yeah, daily microdosing. There's a couple companies that I'm working with right now currently. We're trying to do, you know, some collabs and stuff like that as well.
Making mushroom bars and stuff.
Yeah, the mushroom bars, and then they got, you know, some drinks. You know, they got all types of really cool products out there, dude. That's really beneficial as long as you respect it. Because anything of too much is bad. Yeah, you know what I mean. Probably except for lap dances, but you know, outside of that, dude, it's
69.
like 69. Yeah. So it's
might need a shave after a while,
right? Yeah. So you know, keeping that to where, you know, it's helped, dude. That, you know, a lot of people are on, you know, not just there are a lot of pharmaceuticals or anti-anxiety pills, all that stuff too. And you know, and I've known people who try to get off of them, and they're like, dude, it's hard. You know what I mean? And it's crazy, man. So it's like there's different alternatives that are out there, and a lot of these alternatives have actually been around forever.
Yep.
They just got outlawed in the early 19. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Including, you know, cannabis. You
What's your opinion on kratom?
Kratom, I don't know too much about it, man. It's pretty heavy, dude. I tried it once.
Yeah.
And dude, that shit set me on my ass, dude. I was like,
Yeah.
what is this? I thought I took
Too much.
like a painkiller or something, man. I was like, but it was pretty heavy, dude. You know, I like to just stick to the cannabis. Rick Simpson oil. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. RSO
Of course.
is really good for pain and stuff like that too. But what I've been seeking over these last few years is finding something that actually heals. Because I got all these injuries. I got nerve damage and all down my right side. The right leg smaller than the left. That's why I never ended up going pro. I kind of just, you know, stayed around training.
How'd you get injured?
Actually, dude, the injury was I was just going down to grab a box and herniated my disc.
Shut the fuck up.
That's all it takes.
That's
you know,
not
that's
it.
all
Like,
it takes.
how pissed would you be? That's
dude,
your
and
story,
I was
yeah.
in good. Yeah, dude, I was like, I wish it was something more extravagant.
Yeah.
Dude. Like, I was launching a car 60 feet.
Yeah,
You know
I was
what mean? Like,
racing. Dude,
was
running
running
from the
from
cops.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Car flipped.
Yeah,
he got
dude.
out.
You
He took
know?
a box. Is back one out.
Yeah, walked away, did a quick pose, dude. Roundhouse the next guy next.
Yeah,
to me.
dude.
Yeah.
And Chuck Norris came up back to
Yeah,
back.
dude, like,
And then I bent over to get my wallet, and I was done.
yeah, dude. I was like, I was tripping, dude. So that kind of led into it, and then I keep going. My problem is that I won't, you know, give up. I just keep going and continually build, and you know what I mean. It's like, no, fuck this, I'm good. You know, cutting off casts way early. You know what I mean. My parents would always get on me about that. I'm like, I got this. You know.
Hell yeah.
And you know, my dad always say, man, if you don't take care of these injuries now, you're gonna regret it. And I did. You know, once I started hitting 30. You know, I was like, "What the fuck is happening, dude?" It's like
They knock.
Yeah.
They knock.
Yeah,
What the hell was that?
Everybody
Exactly.
tells you it's
Yeah.
coming, but you're like, nah, I'm good. Until one day you try to go get off the floor, you gotta roll over and push yourself up. You're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah,
Mine's
exactly.
so I just turned 40 in June, and that happened to dude. I feel like the minute I hit 40, certain things now I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, where did you come from?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
Dude,
rest
I'm
before
at
the
that
ever
point
know.
where, like, if I know my back is tight, you know what I mean? Like, throughout the day, I'm like, be careful.
Yes.
Because
yes.
you know when it's tight, that's when, like, one wrong movement makes it slip, you know? Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I did the same thing, bro. I bent
Yeah.
over to get a box at work, dude, and I was fucking out, dude.
Yeah.
Put me out. I was like, mother. But I herniated disc, but I definitely, you know.
Yeah.
shit. You probably did when you fell on that fucking ladder. Remember when you
Oh,
fell on the
yeah.
ladder?
That was my rib, dude. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, you know, just dealing with that, man, and I actually discovered, which I've been researching peptides for the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I put the show on hold, you know, bad company with Gilbilly. And just because of the physical pain I was going through, it was hard for me just to commute sometimes. I go to all these meetings and do cool stuff, but I just noticed the pain just radiates so bad. And, you know, once that pain gets there, it's really hard for you to think, you know what I mean? Then you get short with everybody and choose the people closest to you. You know, and I get out there to events and I'm like, man, dude, this sucks. I got to go. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. You know what I mean? Kissing babies and stuff, dude. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm out. You know what I mean? But peptides, dude. So what we did is I started the Wolverine protocol I'm going in my 4th week, man. And it's actually done everything that it said it was going to do. You know what I mean? It got into those joints.
Explain.
The peptides?
Yeah.
So the
stack,
peptides.
the Wolverine
Yeah,
stack?
Yeah,
stack.
Wolverine stack, dude. So
Yeah,
they
it's
call it
like-
the Wolverine protocol.
It's
It's
a game
actually
changer.
yeah, so it's like supposed to help, you know, basically go in and it's saying rejuvenate, turn on all your stuff that's naturally in there. It's aminos and stuff, I believe. And you know,
Is that
it's
BP 15? Is that 157?
yeah, yeah.
or-
I
That
think
could
it's
be one of
1.5.
them.
Yeah.
There's CJC, IP Moreland. There's
Yeah.
a bunch of
In
different.
the Wolverine stack?
Yeah, so it's a Wolverine stack is what they were calling it, and
That's what I did after my injury.
Oh,
yeah.
And
How
I
do you
had
feel?
HGH. There was like, you take HGH in the morning, 2 things at night, a pill, then you take test with it all, dude. And
yeah,
I remember I came back to from the shoulder surgery the first, and I couldn't even do a plate like bench. Within 1 month, I was repping 185. Like,
Yeah.
It felt- you just
And-
felt the
oh, dude,
repair.
it just brings everything back to like
Yeah.
heals you.
yeah. It's a wonder one, dude. And I've heard a lot of great stuff from people, and then you know, it's just finding the right, you know, one was for me taking that leap. You know what I mean? And you know, over medicating, even with you know cannabis, dude. It's like I can't be rolling around stoned all day. You know what I mean? So
It's
it's
easy
like,
to do sometimes.
Yeah. So, you know, it's actually helped me out a lot, my mobility. And then, you know, getting back to the basics, dude, the drilling that I do, which I always drill no matter what, dude, strike and drill, stuff like that. That's a part of my life. It's been like that since I was a kid. But then I noticed in the shadow boxing, the hip would kick back and it would flare up. But, you know, I noticed with the Wolverine, I've been able to push it way harder. Each week has gotten better and better. But, you know, keeping to the stretching, dude. I tell guys, man, if you can't even touch your toes, man, you shouldn't be lifting weight. You know, you got to stay, especially when we get older. You know what I mean? So, like,
That's
doing
like the old school doctors go get a physical.
yeah.
They're like, touch your toes.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't touch your toes, they're like, sit down, let me look at you more. But if you can touch your toes, they're like, oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Yeah.
in school and elementary? I don't have kids, so remember you do a little fitness test?
Yeah.
Pull up. What they still do
They're-
that?
No, they're bringing it.
No, they're
Triple H
bringing
is
it. They're bringing it back. Yeah,
Oh,
they're
really?
actually
Triple
just
H.
announced it. Yeah.
Shout out the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you used to
There's
be able to
nothing that
do-
humbles you more when you realize you can't do pull-ups, dude. I couldn't do a pull-up in elementary school, but
Bro, I couldn't do shit in elementary
Yeah.
school. Are you kidding me? I was a kid that got caught crossing the track during the mile.
Yeah.
Jake, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, God damn.
I think that's one of the biggest reasons I started working out, dude. Just because I was like, what the fuck? I can't even do a pull-up. Well, I bet you're fucking
How many
skinny ass is
crunches?
knocking
Hey,
them out,
how
huh?
many sit-ups?
Yeah.
How many sit-ups, Joe? How many sit-ups could you do back then?
crunch. It was like a crunch. They would
No,
let you get away.
no, back then.
But
I
they
think
let
that
you-
was
it.
a.
Okay.
They would let
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
away with the
Elbow.
crunch.
One,
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Had a big old fat.
I don't
gut.
remember those. I don't remember.
Yeah, you used to have to
Do you remember that one you had to put your feet
With
out?
the
and
stretch,
then-
yeah, that was the hardest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then measure how far you went. Well, yeah. That,
I'm like, well, time for all us fat kids to get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
right, right,
Here we
yeah.
go. How many push-ups? I'll give you a solid 4.
Yeah.
Like 1. Do it on your knees. No.
Well, they gave us the option like either do pull-ups or just hold yourself up and they count, right? But you have to like have a chin above the whole time.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's what
You
I
would see
did.
those kids, bro. Like I remember in Sultana, man. Those you could see the studs. I remember. What was his name? What was his name?
There's different-
Caleb Molinax. Remember Caleb?
Oh,
Molinax?
yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
Caleb was a fucking stud. He'd
Yeah.
be like, fucking 1, 2, 3, huh, and I'm like, God
Yeah.
damn, son.
Yeah.
And then the homie Miguel, was it Miguel Hernandez? I don't know. He was a big boy. He was a lineman for Sultana, and dude, that dude he would blow people's minds doing those tests, dude. Not me, you know. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
I
good.
wasn't a great tester, dude. It's just like put me on the field and I do good. You know what I mean? But it's like outside of that. But yeah, we had a lot of great ones, dude. There was a girl that was there at Sultana too in track and field. I forget her name.
There was this one white
just a
girl. She was
monster,
baddie.
dude.
She was a baddie, and she went and played soccer for I think Australia. I can't remember her name. Is it Candace? I don't know. It was one of those pretty white girl names. But yeah, all the snow bunnies were at Sultana, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, they brought that back. They took it. I forgot which president took it away, the fitness test, and then they brought it back. Triple H and Donald Trump brought it back.
I knew some bitch ass.
Yeah. No, they need that, man, because these kids too have noticed, it's crazy. You know, a lot of them are not physically
Oh yeah,
even out there, but we need that, dude. It helps out with
Half
everything,
our
dude.
kids can't even get like drafted into the military.
Yeah.
I will say though, I feel like fitness is a little bit in style, right?
I agree. It's come
YouTube
back. It's
taking
come
over
back.
fitness. This is an
Yeah.
influencer. Fitness influencer. This. So I do like that. You know. What
There
I
is
mean?
a
Yeah.
lot of younger generation in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're working out, lifting. Like
There's a video I want to send Jorge.
Too-
It's it shows the high school, probably when your pop was in. Well, our parents were in high school. Do you see like the kids during the physical and doing pull-ups, just jacked, bro? Are the males back then just they're doing? It's like back in the 50s. I'm assuming 50s, 60s, around that area.
Yeah,
It was like
I seen
the
a
high
little
school
video
though.
on that.
Yeah, it was like
yeah,
the high
yeah.
school. They used to
Yeah.
have boxing in high school.
Yeah.
They took that away. That should have been in. That should be in high school. Period. High school. I think it should be in middle school.
Yeah.
Like auto
You find it,
shop.
Jorge?
Wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at Jorge's gonna find. Look at it. Check this out. Look at these fucking dudes back in like the 50s or 60s. They're just jacked. When you think about it now, the difference in food, the difference in
Oh yeah. Yep.
youth fitness. Check this
That's
out.
at La Sierra. I seen this video.
that's Riverside.
Yeah.
Look at these dudes.
Of course he picks that.
They all look like Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, huh?
It's all Adams.
Like,
Big dicks,
yeah,
abs,
like-
fucking Navy SEAL shorts. Look at these dudes.
Yeah. See, those are real men. They all grew up to be.
Like, what happened to us, dude? What happened to us?
the
Look
food,
at that
brother.
motherfucker. He's probably like 15. He just went by. Look at his back.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking Adam's right there.
Just that our food now
Yeah.
is just so good.
You don't. No, I don't think it's what they put in it.
Yeah, that's another big thing, dude. Is the food, man? The sugars, the sodas, all that, man. It's crazy. You go overseas and they got the same product, but without the same ingredients.
Mhm.
It's a lot of stuff I've been looking up these last few years, man. Wondering why. You know what I mean? I've
They do
always
it on
fluctuated
purpose.
weight.
It's all
Oh, for
like
sure.
it's it has to do with big pharma.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, it tastes good when it goes down, but after you're done in indulging in stuff like that, you feel sick. You know what I mean?
You shouldn't,
Yeah.
like
And
last
it's
night. You know
yeah.
what's crazy? Last night. Oh God, had it in and out.
Did you walk?
Oh,
or
I'm
you
right.
drove?
No, we fucking drove. Are you kidding me? I ain't walking. I just worked fucking 10 hours. like you could taste how who's it you that sent it to the group? In-N-Out's the #1 healthiest fast food to eat.
Without a
Because
doubt, yeah.
whenever I remember I haven't eaten at McDonald's in forever or any other place, but after you eat that shit, like you literally degenerately feel sick.
Yeah.
Like your body hurts, your stomach hurts. Dude, I eat In-N-Out, I feel great.
Bro,
after.
I say that all the time. I never get sick on In-N-Out.
Never.
I'm never like, oh, my stomach hurt. Never, dude. It's
No.
always it feels like it's quality, right? Like everywhere should be like that. And plus,
Yeah.
they also like they were like the first ones like in 2018 to start banning like stuff in their lemonades and stuff, like any like high corn fructose syrup.
They
like,
just
did that
changed all
shit.
their
and they just did some more changes too.
all their shake, their dyes, and
Yeah,
their
their
shit.
their dyes.
They got rid of anything that's synthetic.
I was tripping out. I was watching
And they're still only like $6.
Yeah.
Did you see RFK at the
Hearing
the
recently,
hearing?
dude, that was wild.
Dude,
he was going
went
ham.
off on the Senate.
Yeah.
Where he goes, he talks.
Yeah.
But anyways, he told him like, dude, you've been here for 25 years
Yeah.
and you haven't said shit about the chronic disease, the health in our kids. He goes, and all of a sudden you're asking questions now. Like, I was like, get him.
Yeah.
Get him. And then
Yeah.
old punk ass Bernie's tried going at him. He's like, Bernie, are you trying to say he started bringing up his presidential campaign. He's like, where are we going with this, dude? Like,
Yeah.
because they brought up that I know Bernie Sanders has been paid and bought for by Big Pharma. All those dudes have,
Yeah.
all of them have. And what always blows my mind, like how you said, so my nephew, shout out Noah, he's a licensed therapist, just kills it. When the minute he got out of so he used to be a wrestler,
Yeah.
and he got injured at Ranchero. He was in a wrestling match, and he picked up and slammed this dude, and they went back, and the dude slammed on him, fucked up his back. Well, what did he do instead of sitting there using it as an injury or a crutch or to be on painkillers? He went and got his master's, his bachelor's, his associate's.
Nice.
And he treats veterans. That's what veterans, damaged youth. Just kills it. And he was I'm sitting there getting high with Mama V. That's what I call my mom. And then my mom's talking about how she goes, I don't know how you guys. She goes, does Joe and Adam have shrooms? And I'm like, yeah, they do. Why? You want some? She goes, no, I don't do that. I haven't done that since
God,
I used to get
Jesus
high.
told me not to.
She goes, yeah. She goes, I haven't gotten high like that since she used to go to Jerry Garcia's smoke shop, and
Yeah.
she's I used to do shrooms with Jerry all the time. And but she goes, that stuff's bad for you, blah blah. And my nephew actually goes, well, no, it's actually not. They're using it now to treat veterans with PTSD. And
Yeah.
she's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
really? I'm all, yeah. And then he broke it down to her. He goes, you have been so manipulated that marijuana, cannabis, and he goes, shrooms are all bad for you and this and that. He goes, but yet you sit there and you pop Tylenol, ibuprofen.
Yep.
And my mom's sitting there like, like mine's kind of getting blown, but but you're from that generation still where you listen to the news.
Yeah.
You listen to what's being fed to them. And he's like, no, are you aware that how many medias own the news companies?
Yeah.
And she's like, no. And he kind of broke it down to her how, he goes, think of all the ads that come on. Big pharma ads like, hey, you can take this, blah, blah, to cure your blood pressure, this and that. But it may cause this, blah, blah, blah. He goes,
Yeah.
you're being warped. And
Yeah.
he brought it up. He goes, we're actually getting these mushrooms and psilocybin, and we're treating veterans with PTSD. And the one thing he said, what I was going to ask you, I wanted to ask you about your pop. My grandpa served Korea and World War II also.
Yeah.
And never talked about it.
Yep.
Never talked about it. And just he didn't want, and it was nobody's business.
Yeah.
Do you think your dad suffered from that?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And he hit it, especially from the VA. He would always say, you can't tell them, certain things. They're gonna lock you up in the nut house. He's like, you got to be careful because that era was a lot different. They didn't look at it as PTSD. They said it was shell shock. And the shakes and all that good stuff too. But because another one of my veteran buddies, Nick Peck, he got sent into retirement, Marine. He was on presidential duty for Obama and Trump. And just a great kid, dude, and a lot of tours and a few tours, and he broke his back off a Humvee. He got launched off a Humvee, and so like he was asking, when did your dad's flashbacks stop? And I'm like, dude, they never stopped. You know what I mean? And he didn't take the medicine that the VA gave him, because he says it makes it worse. But the thing is, with my dad, is what we're implicating with the ranch and everything else, is he'd always say, idle mind is the devil's workshop. You got to stay busy. And so we had, chickens, we had some horses, a couple different times, and just animals and trees, gardens, all that stuff. So he was always staying busy, and that's what you need.
There's an addiction place out here, the River's Edge Ranch.
Yeah.
And they have like all kind of animals and different shit, and the guys are always out there working, taking care
The
of
vets?
them.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's vets or just drug addicts. I think more, or
And
I think even guys like out of prison that need to be rehabilitated. You know, they go there and like they have all these different things that the guys are doing, working all day.
Yeah, and that's what even with the vets, dude. We teamed up with Heroes for Horses and stuff too. So they rescue like race horses and get them rehabilitated as well. But it's veterans that we're gonna have work with them. You know what I mean? And then dogs as well. You know what I mean? Ex-veteran dogs, all that stuff's in the works. So, you know, they're helping heal each other. You know what I mean? And rehabilitate each other. And animals are great to do that with, dude. Especially horses, man.
You build a bond because they don't just trust anybody. They got to vibe it.
No, it's almost like they feel they like sync their heart rate to you as you're getting closer. So if you're feeling sketchy or scared, it's gonna feel sketchy or scared. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you don't want to just hop on a horse and they end up getting bucked off, dude. You know what I mean?
Do you think it's the veterans that are our age who gone through the Iraqi war, the Afghani war? That's really much most around, right? The Iraq war, that's it, right? Yeah, I believe so.
The Forever War?
The Forever War.
Yeah.
Do you think those guys are more messed up now than what my grandpa, your father? Like, you think they experienced something? I mean, don't be wrong, war is war, but I feel like
trauma.
I feel like the guys who went to the Iraq war, the Afghan war, I felt like they seen something completely different. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I think
they didn't
each
fight a
generation,
soldier in a uniform.
Yeah, and that's what makes it hard. Is the target is not somebody who's identifiable like that until its last second. You know what I mean? So you got to make a decision. You know what I mean? I know a few of my buddies, dude, who served in those wars, and they were just saying, they felt guilty on a lot of it, dude. You know what I mean? Because they're like, fuck, dude, I always tell them, I was like, it was either you or them. You know what I mean? And some of it, it's like, regardless of what these wars were over, that more stuff's coming out now where people are like, well, what the fuck? But imagine what these soldiers are thinking. You know, guys who they lost over there. I think when they have fellow comrades that don't come back, that's what affected my dad too. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, it's crazy tours and combats, it's and the weapons that they have nowadays is pretty intense. You know what I mean? So warfare has definitely changed, but each generation of war, they all have very similarities. I was looking at this one little snippet, dude, and it was talking about guys from like World War I and even the Civil War, looking at their diaries, and they're all saying like the same stuff. Wow. Hearing the explosions over and over again, like the ringing in my head and all this good stuff. And that's what my show, Bad Company with Gillbilly is about too. It's covering veterans, and that's what we're going to focus on mainly, but also athletes, because all the concussions and everything you go through, it affects you, man, as you get older. And I'm looking at some of these fighters, dude, that are not addressing it, and athletes, and they're, after retirement, a big one for me was when Junior Seau committed suicide. Yep. You know what I mean? And look, he went down a slippery slope, dude. If you ever watch his 30 for 30 on ESPN.
Those are some of the best shows, those 30 for 30.
Oh, I love those, man. And it was heartbreaking watching that, dude. And he sent out a text.
Chest, right? That's what he did.
Yeah, and he did it for CT. That's what really got NFL to pay attention to and acknowledge CT finally was him sacrificing himself. He later said he put in his note, I want to donate my brain to find out. And they said it was advanced. He was like a brain of an 80-year-old. You know what I mean? Whatever
Chris
it was.
Benoit, the wrestler.
Yeah, Chris Benoit.
The crippler.
He did it first a long time ago. He just went off the rails.
Dude,
didn't he kill his...
Yeah,
he killed his wife,
too,
his son.
Yeah.
He broke his wife's spine and laid on the ground with her as she suffered all night. And then he hung his son with his pull-down bar, with the pull-down for backs. He fucking put the ring around his neck and let him hang. And then they said he broke his wife's spinal cord. Then he laid there with her. I don't know how he did it to himself. Yeah. But they said his brain was like an 8-year-old's. All the CTE damage.
Yeah, and that's
a big deal, man.
And if you drinking with like head injuries is really bad. You know what I mean? Especially when you excessively drink and pharmaceuticals as well. I'm sure is not too good on it. You know what I mean? So like holistic healing. That's why a lot of veterans are being healed with mushrooms. You know what I mean? And there's other stuff too. You got DMT, ayahuasca. All types of great stuff that was legal forever up until like the early 1900s.
They say that ayahuasca washes like the demons leave your body, all the bad shit. Like,
I believe that. I believe that.
It's wild to watch people go through it.
I've seen fighters do it, and they're not the same no more. Like Deontay Wilder.
Wilder,
dude, former heavyweight champion, WBC. Dude, he had so much anger when you watch his interviews. Like, he just looked like Joe. You seen Rocky 3, right? With Mr. T. He was like a real life Clubber Lang, and he was intense. Like, remember that one till this day? Like, he was screaming at the reporter, and even the reporter got intimidated, and he was smoking everybody till he ran into the Gypsy King. But he he after Tyson Fury beat him the third time, which is one of the greatest fights I've ever seen in my life. He went and did ayahuasca, and
You don't see. He's no more.
he
He's
came
not
back.
angry. He's not.
Where's the bronze bomber? It's not. He talks very. Hey, how are you? And now
Yeah.
he dude, he got knocked out. Like
Well,
he's not that guy no more.
They say, I think that the ayahuasca and the DMT, like if you're not ready, it won't let it happen.
I was gonna
for
say
sure.
that. I was like, I think it affects everyone differently.
Yeah, like
right?
but if you're not ready, like the drug will just wash out.
Explain.
Yeah.
What are you not ready for? Explain.
The awakening. Like if you're really truly not ready there and to really be spiritual and change and be awakened, it just
100%,
washes
man.
out of you. That's what they say.
100%,
Like
man.
it's the shaman. Like they know that's why you have a shaman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they'll tell you if you're not ready, it's just like a waste of a drug. It just goes through you. It knows what it's doing. It's here
Yeah.
for a reason. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%, man, dude. It definitely goes a long ways, man. And you got to be, like you said, ready for that. And I had to change everything in my life, man. You know what I mean? Even from what I listen to. You know what I mean? It's just, I do the frequency when I fall asleep. I put that on, and then even in the morning, you know what I mean? I try to get that to first get up early for everybody else, and then be able to focus on yourself inward first. You know what I mean? And those are all things that have helped, man. You know what I mean? And just even if I'm having a bad day, I know how to stop it right there instead of let it go on and affect it, dude. And staying in that high frequency, even how I talk. You know what I mean? And
Law of attraction, baby.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
the
and-
true definition.
Yeah,
of it right there.
100%. I do my manifesting. I do journaling now too, which actually I started that with the peptides to kind of keep a dialogue and everything. And my partner Jacob Holloway, brought me to that. Great guy, and he was just a former Marine too, Force Recon. And same thing with him, man. He was like, dude, I was a Marine, a lot of contract work over the years, and he had a breakdown, you know what I mean, and realized, holy shit, man, I got to change some stuff. And he got on mushrooms and whatnot and stuff as well. So, I see a lot of it heal and change people, but you got to be ready for it. You know, it's
There's
got to be you
more
to want to make
steps to the process than just taking
Yeah.
it and I'm healed. Like,
Yeah, because you don't want to have a bad trip on it neither. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And some people like see crazy stuff, and man, I see this, big red dude or whatever. I've never seen that.
that's
It's just,
it's yourself. And
yeah. So it's like, I feel like it breaks that veil for me. And, I've always felt, my family that have passed and stuff like that as well. And if I'm in the right frequency, you know what I mean? When I was drinking it and I was in this shell, you know what I mean? And just constantly putting myself in this, I did it all to myself, man. Anything, that I have done, I had to start taking extreme ownership for my actions and accountability. You know what I mean? Instead of putting it
100%.
outwards blaming, I was like, fuck, what could I have done better in that? You know what I mean? And step up. So, that was been my mission, man, is just to be the best version of myself right now, as a better father, first and foremost.
Yeah.
My son is 19 at BYU, Idaho, doing his thing out there, professional dork. So, you know what I mean? I'm proud of him. He's the opposite of his dad, which that's what he needs to be himself. And I want him to, live his dream and me to get him there. You know what I mean?
So you guys, the relationship is rekindled?
Yeah,
per se?
yeah. It's been rekindled for a
Good
couple
shit.
years, man, and that was huge for me, man. And he's a great kid, man. So,
So you had a kid young, huh?
Yeah, yep. I had him young, man. So everybody kind of trips on that, man. And even when I had the birds and bees talk with him, I was just like, "You ever wonder why your teachers think I'm your brother and not your daddy?" He's all, "No." I was like, "You're an accident, kid. You're the best accident I ever had." You know what I mean? But I was just telling you got to be responsible. I don't want to see you, because I put a lot of my dreams and aspirations aside because I had them so young.
That's right.
I had to step up and, provide, you know what I mean? So, fighting wasn't, my ex was always getting on me, oh, you need to grow up. And then the racing, everyone's like, you got to grow up, and you do. And then you put them aside and then you regret fucking having it. So now him being an adult and now in college, I'm basically reamping all my dreams that I left behind. You
Good
know
for
what I
you,
mean?
Bubba. Good for
Yeah,
you.
I'm trying to help heal others in the process, man. So if I could do it and get to the point where I could change my entire life, because, I wasn't making the right decisions for years and burned a lot of bridges along the way too, man. And, being able to finally recognize that and realize, man, dude, especially after losing him, I was like, fuck, I got to make a change, dude. You know what I mean? And you got to do it for yourself, man, or it'll never work.
That's
and,
right.
So being able to pass this forward, especially to veterans that are out there that are lost, sick, and afflicted, because suicide rate has gone through the roof. You know what I mean? For men, especially, but especially for veterans, and that they don't talk about that a lot.
So tell us a little about the show. Is it on YouTube or?
We have. So what we did, we're actually building my studio in Newport right now,
Okay.
and so we haven't launched it yet.
Gotcha.
We did some filming a couple years back. We had like 8 hours of filming, which was hilarious and it was awesome, but it just never wasn't the right time. And having to go through different stuff along the way, learning different lessons have definitely been beneficial to this, to where I'm a lot more prepared now for it.
Nice.
So I didn't want to put it on delay. Even one of my best friends, his son, committed suicide about a year ago, and it broke my heart, man, because I was like, fuck, dude. He's like, you got to get your show going, man, because, it's being able to help, people out there like that, dude. I was never suicidal, but the lifestyle of living was definitely suicidal. You know what I mean? I had zero fear, and, you know, I wasn't. I just kept rolling with it. You know what I mean? Like fuck it. You know, and
I think
that's
it
when I
goes.
woke up to it.
I think it goes hand in hand with that industry.
Yeah.
You start living like a fucking outlaw.
100%, dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just certain things you do and get away with, and
Yeah.
because like it's hard for me to relate to a lot of like not relate, but like there's people in the industry that understand and live that, and there's others that don't. You know what I mean? And you can kind of tell when you meet people or talk to them about like certain lifestyles and things you can do, because it's pretty much anything is within your reach.
Yes.
You can go and do it as you please, tell people to fuck off, and you know, burn bridges and all that type of stuff, and they'll still call you for the product.
Yeah.
So you know, it's just like you get this big ego and this mentality of like you're something you're not.
Yeah.
And then at one point there's a breaking point of like you look in the mirror and just, you know, does it really justify the means of how you're living, or is that really who you are?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to really decide what you're going to do. But it's that industry's the devil. Not the devil, but it can be, you know what I mean? Like it can really turn you the wrong direction.
Yes. 100%, dude. You know what I mean? I still know a lot of guys in the cannabis space, dude, and you know, it's crazy seeing them take the licks they've had to take over the years, dude, and you know, it's it got pretty cutthroat there for a while.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people are holding on, you know what I mean? If it goes to a Schedule 3, that's huge. You know what I mean? Legalizing it, you know, across the board would be nice. You know what I mean?
This opens the doors for a lot of people that have been working behind doors.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, dude. So the guys who are holding on to those licensing and stuff right now too, because that ranch in Paso Robles, that was actually a grow.
Yeah.
So we had to go take down all the hoop houses and all that good stuff. And it's that family actually used to be in the Hearst family, that ranch.
Okay.
So it's a total, I believe, 25,000 acres. We have 500 of it right now. Obviously, in time, we want to get the rest. So building that out and then having, you know, Reagan used to be there riding horses, like all types of presidents.
So you could really have like some type of like a men's retreat where you just disappear.
Yeah, that's
like,
exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we have it where it's a men's retreat, as well as for the veterans as well, and also too working with the families of the fallen. You know what I mean? Because you know they give them a flag and stuff, and like, oh hey, you know, sorry for your loss, and you know the therapy that they have to deal with, especially if they got little ones. You know what I mean? So having them out there and helping them as well. You know, so it's a broader thing that we're doing. You know what I mean? And it's different in how we've been, you know, putting it together. I'm very proud to be a part of it. Especially, you know, a lot of it, you know, I think about my dad all the time. You know what I mean? And other vets that I know currently. You know, and them, every single one is just like, dude, this is so sick what you guys are doing. You know, and we're proud of it, man. It's, you know,
so the motivation's there.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Just gotta follow through.
Yeah, you know, because I could, you know, merge. You know, we have IR8. You know, it's a tactical company. You know, we're doing cybersecurity, government contract work as well, private security and whatnot, and so on and so forth. With Peck General building for as well. But you know, I could just merge that, make money with that, and ride off into the sunset. But I was like, you know, Jake asked, "What's your passion?" I said, it's the mental health thing. You know what I mean? It's being able, because I've seen so many people are lost, sick, and afflicted right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Society's gotten crazy, man. You know what I mean? It's gotten so crazy, it made me look normal. You know what I mean? In which I'm like, there's something wrong here. You know, I'm on page 3 news now. I'm not on page 1 no more. So it's like, you know, it's like, you know, but it's like, you know, I can't just sit back and watch this no more. You know what I mean? So I want to actually be effective. And, you know, if I can make my mark, I've been a professional hellraiser my whole life. So now I'm raising awareness. You know what I mean? And trying to make that change and that mark before I go.
So it's almost like you're paying your dues back.
For sure.
Gotcha.
Definitely, dude. Definitely, man.
So would you say it's kind of come to limelight lately, like men's mental health is a topic of discussion that's okay to talk about now?
Yeah, and that was taboo forever.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean,
our generation, like right here, where we're already, you're fine, pick up, go play.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You didn't talk
Put some
about
dirt on
shit.
it.
Joe,
Yeah.
I think Joe you kind of always emphasize like how your mom kind of raised you to talk about things and kind of discuss things when things were going on with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think the rest of us here were raised that way, which is cool. Like, you know what I mean? You seem to be able to talk it out and kind of
it's
operate in a different frequency, more mellow, and kind of just, you know, check in and make sure your people are good. But
yeah, yeah, whenever I got in trouble, right, she'd sit me down and have like a 2-hour talk. Thanks, Mom, love you. But I will say that definitely doesn't help about opening up. No, that just helps with when I do want to open up about something, I will.
You're able to communicate it better.
Exactly, like I'm gonna sit this out, right? But I definitely don't speak my mind. Like, just like you said, I stay calm and collective. That's because I'm holding it all in. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to. I don't want to unleash what I want to say. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna.
So when you,
I avoid conflict.
Yeah.
I'll just be honest. I never am the type of person I want to fight. I avoid conflict. You know what I mean? And so I'll hold shit in so I don't.
But do you think because like how when you sat with her and she would break down the talk and talk to you, when you do able to break down that and can communicate, you come across like you're able to communicate when the opportunity is given?
So with Jorge in the lab, right? If I'm trying to explain something, do you think I'm pretty good at explaining it to you, like breaking it down like piece by piece, right? And being descriptive and being like, hey, look, dude, this is why you need to do it like this, right? I don't just say, Jorge, do that. It's why am I telling you to do that? I want you to understand. That's what my mom did. She's like, I'm punishing you, but I want you to understand why I'm fucking punishing you. You know what I mean? So today I'm thankful for that kind of like,
for sure,
whatever. But sometimes I was like, Mom, please just spank me. I get this over with because it'd be like a 3-hour talk.
God damn it, I'm sorry.
But you know what? She tells me all the time. Every time we go drinking together, she'll like bring this up. You know, she's like, "Man, I treated you." And I was like, "No, you didn't. You did a great job with me." You know, so like, you know, just.
Like for me personally, so
love you.
Parenting's tough though, Joe. Like being the parent, it's tough.
I can only imagine. You know,
yeah. Like for me, my pop was, you know, Big Frank was locked up, number one, for doing his thing, and then my dad was super like, you know, abusive, like. But I appreciate that because that's how it made me who I am. You know, my dad would whoop my brother's ass. I mean, to the point where my brother would be on the floor screaming and crying, and my dad's just going to town on him. And to the point where I would get on top of my brother, like, hit me, motherfucker, don't leave him. I'm the little brother, but I've always been the big brother.
Yeah.
And my sister too. My mom would fuck up my sister, but my parents were different. Yeah. And like I said, my dad was locked up for most of his. My dad was locked up. He was gone, and then my mom fucking did what she could. And then when my dad got out, he wanted to be worshiping Jesus all of a sudden. So we're like, whatever. At least you're here, I guess. Yeah. You know. And even then, he was still abusive. But when we traveled the whole fucking goddamn country, we got back here. This was our landing spot. My dad bailed again, and we didn't see him. So it was on my mom, and my mom was always. My mom's different. Like even Kay, she noticed it. Like your mom's not like your mom raised you to be different. I said, yeah, because my mom was raising men, and my mom was out doing 3 jobs at once just to keep a fucking roof over our head, and we didn't have much. You know, like I said, I didn't get birthdays or Christmases or I got stuff when it was tax time.
Yeah.
You know, I was able to go to Solaware and get stuff. You know. And which I was always, there's times where I've gone to the register at my mom and you know, my dad didn't help. He was gone. And the bank didn't have it. So you got to put everything back. Yeah. I've been in that situation so many fucking times as a kid to where I never wanted my kids to experience that. Yeah. I never wanted my kids to get to experience, go put that back. We can't get it. Like, you know, because that was how it was for me. And I'm like, oh, it is what it is, you know? And even now, to where as a man, the minute my mom got cancer, stage 4 colon cancer, I had the meltdown. She was fine. She came up to me and slapped the fuck out of me and said, knock it off. Yeah. And I was like, yes, ma'am. Yeah. You know, yes, ma'am. So I've always been the type of person to just deal with shit because that's how I was raised. You know, like you said, you fall hurt yourself, get up. Yeah. You're fine. Put dirt on it, you're fine.
No,
you're fine.
For sure. Yeah, no.
You know, and so to be where, like I said, when you become older, and I'm gonna be real with you. Gil. Like when you're sitting here telling me about you had a fallout with your son, I'm dealing with that now. Yeah. You know, and as far as walking away from dreams and careers to provide, I relate to you. Yeah. 100%. And because I had to stop being a fighter to be a dad. Yeah. And like you said, you get to that point to where now I'm 40. And like even now, like my son, we're still rebuilding. But there's times like right now we're not in a good part because, you know, my ex-wife's a pain in the ass. But he'll be back. He'll be back. And I know for sure now he's taught me. He told me something a long time ago when I first met him. He's told me you can't control your emotions, you can't control your money. Yeah. You know, and I've kind of always like kept that in check. You know, and but like living with my son. It's just like, oh my God, dude! Like here we go again. You know, because I'm the one rebuilding from a divorce. I'm in that stage right now, and with a person who's it just wasn't right. I didn't want to do it no more. Yeah. It wasn't working. You know what I mean? And how you said gave you shit for going, dude. Same, same. And so I can relate to that. You know, as I'm 40 now I'm doing the opposite. Now, like I'm saying, I'm training fighters now, and being the best version of myself for them and giving my knowledge to them. And the one thing I've noticed now is like I do communicate, but I communicate with certain individuals of how if I'm going through stuff or I'm feeling something. Joe usually gets the vibe and will reach out. Adam sometime will reach out to me and be like, "You good? Just checking on you." You know, because I know Joe's really keen on that. He picks it up, and but there's certain people I sit down with, and it's crazy actually. So my brother texts me, and after our first tripod, and he messaged me and he goes, "Hey dude, like, I love you. I know you're my little brother. I love you, kid. Blah blah blah." And he goes, "You're not a burden to me. If you're going through stuff, call me. This and that, this and that." And he goes, "You know, I'm your brother." He goes, "And you know, those are your boys on your podcast." And I go, he's like, "But I'm your brother." And but my thought at that time has always been, "Bro, you've never been a big brother to me. Like, I've always been the big brother. You know, I'm always the one that's had to protect. I'm always the one that's had to take care of you." Because my brother's not like me and my sister. My dad wanted my brother to, dude, if my brother was so gifted with God-given strength, he could walk into a gym at any point and hit 6 plates. You know, his fucking fingers were massive. My dad wanted him to be a lineman. And that's not my brother, man. My brother's Buck's creative. He builds stuff. He builds those fucking 4x4s, RC cars. Like, he's been on magazine covers and for Pro Line, I think that's what it's called. Mm-hmm. And they've covered his stuff. And like, my brother's always been that kid, to where my dad wanted him to be an athlete. You know, and so when he reached out to me, you know, me personally, him hearing you call me a brother, I think that kind of like a come to Jesus moment. You know what I mean? Like, man,
that's my brother.
Huh?
That's my brother.
Yeah. Like, that was a come to Jesus moment for him. You know, like, damn. Because I said, we're from that era, bro, where we don't talk about our stuff.
I didn't mean my brother. When I said that, right? I didn't mean my brother. I'm saying that's what your brother's saying. Like, hey, that's my brother. You know? Other people are calling. Not that it's bad. Or
that's what Kay said.
Like, I should be a brother to him.
Kay said he probably was like, you know.
Well, you know, real quick to cut you off is like talk about mental health, men's mental health, right? The reason I check up on people is because I think men are all the same, right? We maybe not all the same, but we tend to hold our shit in, right? Like, right? It just as a guy, like, you're not you don't want to be like a little bitch and like vent to someone. And you're like, dude, I sound like a bitch right now. You know what I mean? Because especially once you say it out loud, you're like, I sound like a bitch. You know what I mean? But you're mad about something, you're just holding it in. So just getting that, like, I guess maybe because that's what I want sometimes, you know what I mean? Is like, I'm not gonna say it, but you know, you're waiting for someone to be like, dude, let's talk, you know what I mean? That camaraderie, you know what I mean? Just like, dude, you okay? Like, what's
there's times where you go through that workout, you train, you butcher your body. Sometimes you feel good after, but sometimes you don't. You know? Sometimes the minute you go back into your fucking car and you're like, fuck, I'm back where I was right before, you know? And you, like, some guys turn to women, some guys turn to the bottle. Some guys, you know, some individuals I know turn to other stuff. And
but that's why I'm saying it's important, so you don't turn to that stuff.
You
have someone, your boy, you know, or someone, a friend, you know, someone. Like Adam said, like, you got to talk to someone, you know. Like,
this veteran told my nephew, dude. My nephew was like 5 minutes late to his call.
Hence why therapy was born.
And my nephew got on the call. And my nephew said he seen him put his gun down. Because he was like, thank God you answered. Because he was ready to.
There's a
you know,
with work or whatever. I've been meeting all these different people, and so I met this retired cop the other day. I had to deliver to him. He was cool. He's like we started chatting. He was medically retired. He's a big old boy. Fucking squeezed the fuck out of my hand when he shook my hand or whatever. And I could tell he was a cop right away. Like, I'm like, this dude's a cop. And I'm like, you law enforcement? He's like, how can you tell? I'm like, I could tell.
You're wearing a badge.
Yeah, no. So, but so we get in. I'm like, well, like, you're pretty young to be retired. He's like, I'm medically retired. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, can I like injury on the job? He's all, you want me to tell you the truth? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, so we got a call one day, me and my partner, that this ex-military Marine was having like a PTSD breakdown. He's like, so we show up to the place or whatever, and we're checking on him, and he goes, this dude's 6'4", 240 pounds, not a lick of fat on him. He's like a weapon, like a machine. You know what I mean? He has a duty. You could tell this guy. So he was having a breakdown and fucking lost it. Well, he said him and his partner fought this dude for like 5 to 7 minutes, and they weren't winning.
Yeah.
So the Marine broke his shoulder,
Damn.
dislocated it, and he did something bad to the other cop. They both had to be medically retired from this incident.
Wow.
And so he said he got so far into they were at the point where they weren't gonna they were just gonna keep getting hurt that they finally tased him, and it stuck and it got him. Well, he started getting up from the tase.
Oh fuck.
And the cop that I met, he said he finally told his partner, if this motherfucker gets up, shoot him, kill him. Like he said, they had no other recourse at that point. And finally, hit the taser like stuck, and just they got a hold of him. Well, the dude, when he went to the hospital, he was still tripping, and a male nurse came to like help him or whatever. And he grabbed the dude's arm and snapped it one hand, like broke the dude's arm. So, anyways, he got 18 years in prison for that. The Marine.
Yeah.
It's like it was like 8 years for the one cop, 8 years for the other cop, and then 2 years for the hurting the nurse.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I guess he said the cop said he took his charge like nothing, just like whatever. And he said he actually came over and said, "Hey man, I just want to thank you for not killing me." The Marine said that like to the cop. Like I said, well, he goes, and so it just goes to show you like people can go do a service and they're a great tool to that country or the asset of what they're doing. He goes, but when they come back to normal society, some people don't cope well, or they're not in that direction or that mission like he said, like they don't have it anymore, so they don't know what to do with themselves. And I said, well, not to make fun of the situation, but he'll be fine in jail. He's like, oh, he's gonna thrive in jail. He's gonna do well. But the cop was like, because he was a young guy, not too old, like good sized boy, and he was like, yeah, medically retired or whatever. But it was crazy when he told me the story, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You never know what
The
somebody's going.
the vets, dude, they're told to go do something, and I've always blew my mind. Like, I don't know if you saw my thing. I go on my X rants. I know you see.
Yeah.
I go on X hard, bro. Like hard. If I'm high, if I just got off of work and I'm smoking the J on the patio, and I'm reading X, I'm coming at somebody.
Yeah.
And this person was like, "Is this acceptable for?" It was like a 35. It was a 35-year-old woman with a 22-year-old kid. Like, is this relationship acceptable? Blah, blah, blah. And I say, if the motherfucker can be 18 and get a rifle and told to go kill, he could plow out a 35-year-old. You know what? It blows my mind how veterans are told that they can go do this, they can go do that. You could be a kid, but you can't come home and have a drink at 21, or you're not 21 yet.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's wild. So in a way, it kind of tells you, like, they're children's soldiers in a way, like child soldiers in a way, And when they get out,
some do well. Like they don't have direction at 18. You know what I mean? So you throw them in the service, and you do what they do well. They thrive.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, like career military people, they live fucking good once they retire.
Oh, of course.
For 20, 30 years, servicemen, like they get a great paycheck, and they can get any like loans, finance help. They have a good life, and they still could work because they're only 40 years old, maybe 45, 50, and they could still do another job or whatever. But it comes like everything has good and bad.
For sure, definitely, man, and that's why we're working with, even law enforcement too. Juan Garcia on how to engage a distressed veteran.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and they usually reach out to him directly. You know what I mean, when there's somebody bad. And he's had some pretty crazy stories that he's been able to tell so far, and it's
you got to be able to relate though on their level, like when you approach that situation.
And that's why you want to be able to give the right training for that too. You know what I mean? Because usually at the time you get called for distress with them, they're at the end. You know what I mean? They're done. They're
losing it, right?
Yeah, they'd rather
they're ready
either
to check out.
Yeah, get in a shootout, or they want to be killed. At that point, which is sad. At that point, and
imagine that mental state to be just want nothing. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah. And with these veterans too, that catch charges like that against police or domestic, whatever, they put them in regular jails. You know what I mean? It's like they should be in like a VA one. You know what I mean?
It should be take care of them, not just throw them out with the wolves.
Yeah. So it's working with a lot of them, and even the ones that are gonna be coming out of jail and stuff too. You know what I mean? We want to be able to try to get them back on their feet.
Rehabilitated.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of these vets try the microdosing or anything like that?
Yeah, quite a bit, man.
Yeah.
And they've enjoyed it. A lot of my guys are, were of course Marine Marines, and You know what I mean? There's been quite a bit, man. You know what I mean? And it's positive feedback of what we're seing.
Right.
You know, and that's going to be the next wave. You know, we're in this healing era right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? With everything we were talking about earlier, the gym, everyone's getting in the gym, and realizing, you know, we need to stay, especially for men, dude. We have to be training. That's what, you know, we're naturally warriors. You know what I mean? You have to train. And, you know, it's for your mental health. It's for us to be in the best shape that we can, because we're the leader of our families and kids. And even if you don't have kids, it's like we got to get out there and work hard every single day, regardless.
Someone's looking at you.
Yeah.
Someone's looking at you.
I saw this video, dude, and it was showing a brain and how it like reacts to psilocybin mushrooms. And when someone's having like a PTSD moment, right, it's like their frontal lobe is like telling the brain like this is happening right now, you know, and that's why they have this flashback and they think they're there, you know.
Yeah.
What happens was with the psilocybin, it actually shuts that part of your brain down, almost down to like, you know, like 5% activity. But then what they found out was like another part of the brain that like helps with mood or something like that started connecting with other parts of the brain that don't usually talk to each other.
Yeah.
So what happened was it was able to start rewriting your brain in a sense to start, you know, getting back to normal.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where like mushrooms takes.
Have you ever
when it comes
seen
to
like
the-
how the mycelium connects underground?
Yeah, it's
But it connects.
It's a
like,
network, right?
Everything gets connected together as far as like shrubs and trees and life, so they all they can communicate.
Yeah.
But so like it reminds you of the brain. It probably similar
Kinda
situation
acting like that,
It's
It's like opening up
branches
the
out
network.
and connects everything.
Right.
But are you a Gavin Newsom fan?
No comment on that one. Man.
You should give your answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I thought it's a funny question to ask now that like
He said he's missing. He's been missing for the last 48 hours. No, he's not.
he ain't missing. He's probably on a run. He's on a tweak
on a
run.
bender.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I was thinking, I was like, dude, what if like
that
they're
fool
about to
doesn't.
come
You
after
see
him?
his eyeballs and his smile? That's the devil in there.
Yeah.
It's the fucking devil.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's just blowing my mind, bro, right now. Like,
Did you
what's
see
going
when he
on in
got
California
questioned
with him?
by who was it? Is it Mayor or what's the one of the talk show hosts or the late night comedy?
Yeah.
Questions about the AB bill one where you could somebody could sign your kid out.
What do you say?
Oh,
Without-
yeah.
That one's freaking me
What?
out, bro. What
That's
the
a weird
fuck?
one, dude.
Yeah,
That's a
like
weird one.
and
And
he's
what
like,
did he say?
he's all this bill. I don't want to get this correct. You know how he is. He's like this bill was not created in that aspect, and he like puts his foot in his mouth. He said this bill was created because I don't believe that teachers need to be worried about what kids are sex gender or this or that are doing at school to report to the parent. Like if they're Tim and they want to be called Sally at school and identify as something different, the teacher shouldn't have no business wanting to tell the parent what's going on. The teacher should just teach. And the guy's like, well, isn't that kind of like the teacher's job to like kind of care for these kids when they're in their like, you know, the school, the classroom? Like you can't just let a kid be and do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And it kind of went back and forth, and by the end of it, like Gavin Newsom sounded stupid, but he was getting upset because the bill is like theoretically somebody could come sign your kid out and take them,
Yeah.
and they don't have to
notify.
notify. But I mean, thank God,
Dude,
like,
I am most mad right now about this fire thing. About how
Yeah.
they raised
Yeah,
$100
yeah.
million and no one got a dollar of it.
it's-
Yeah.
But then they approved $100 million funding for low income housing there.
Okay,
And
so
yeah.
it's
here,
like, how the fuck,
have you
bro?
heard? Have you
Yeah.
heard this one? So Gavin Newsom's wife has a big charity foundation.
Yes, and that's where they're saying.
Okay, hold on. So the fires, remember back from Paradise and
Yep.
what happened?
Yeah.
So they're blaming PG&E, right? So PG&E, check it out. PG&E got fined $200 million for these fires, which is chump change for the billions of dollars it did.
Yeah.
So the California Commissions of Utilities, guess who heads that? Gavin Newsom.
His wife, right?
Mhm.
No, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
So that's the commission that they answer to, all the utilities. They have to pay this fine, that issued the fine. Well, Gavin Newsom, the California Commission of Utilities, they waived the fine for $200 million.
Mm.
Said, okay, guys, you don't have to pay. But that same week, PG&E donated $1 million to his wife's foundation.
Oh, so here's
Wow.
your kickback.
So that's what I
Yeah.
think. I think actually Cash Patel or like FBI and those guys, they're actually looking hard into it. And I think he's going to.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a dream, but dude, I hope he's on the run right now. And he's like, fuck, they're coming in to get me right now.
Oh
You know
God.
what I mean? That'd be awesome.
But
Yeah.
no, there's just like a lot of shits that start. I don't know. You know, we all know this. Like when you start poking your head in the limelight and showing your face and acting like this and talking like that, it's people.
So then
People put you under the scope.
Well, just
So
the other
that
day, he
people
announced
dig
he's gonna increase law enforcement in our bad cities. You see that?
Yeah.
Right after Trump just sent out
That
troops to
feds-
DC and all
Yeah.
those. Chicago, What do you think about that one?
Honestly, I know people who've just recently gone to Chicago, and some people say it's bad, some people say it's whatever, some people say it's the nature of the city.
I think it's the murder count thing they're following, the crime rates and all that. You know what I mean?
It's the highest in
Yeah.
the nation, right?
Yep.
Most
Supposedly.
deaths
It's
every night,
terrible.
night after night. It's
Yeah,
like
the
there's
shootings are
someone's
crazy
dying.
there.
Like so for this because I'm in the truck game now, so I've been following a lot of shit. And there's like California, New Mexico, and Washington are like they like stick together on like their rules, and they try to be. So like the government has its rules, and then they want to put more rules on top of everything, make it more difficult. California always, right? So I don't know if you guys seen that dude that did the illegal U-turn. The family died in Florida.
Yeah.
Well, it's opened the fucking door for Pandora's box, like for all this shit going on. So
I was just gonna tell you, dude. I was talking to my dad. He asked about you because
Yeah.
they came by the facility, and my dad's like, "What's Adam doing?" Told him what you're doing. He's like, "Do you realize Adam just hit a gold mine?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Because of that accident, all these truck drivers are gonna get wiped off." And
so
guess
all
what?
Our
Now
rates
biz-
are going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
I
happening.
was
So
like, damn, dude, good
So
job,
Texas Governor Abbott just issued, if you can't speak English and be fluent and read signs, they call your authority. That's what you have to get approved for through the government, and they'll take it away. And if you don't have authority, you can't run your rig. So he just signed on the 4th, 2 days ago, that if you don't speak English, you can't. They're revoking your authority, and they're going after
That's in
like
Texas.
Texas. They're going after it aggressively, like so they're pulling people over, fucking snatching people up. Well, so the head of the DOT and the FMCSA, who runs all this stuff, he just came on board straight like a Trump. He's like, I guess that dude that caused the accident, in 2019, he was going to do a delivery, and he went on this bridge that was only certified for so much weight, and it collapsed in a town. The whole bridge collapsed into everything, fucked a bunch of shit up. Well, just in June, he got pulled over in New Mexico for a speeding ticket, and they didn't put him out of service. Like, it's a big deal.
right?
So he's like, I don't know what these states are doing or whatever. He came on and he said, if California, Washington, and New Mexico doesn't want to get on board and follow what we're doing, we're cutting all their millions of dollars of funding for DOT and roadway authority. He's like, so they could either do the job and get along and follow the rules, or they're going to lose all their funding and not operate. And it's just like it's a measure of dicks right now, but I mean it needs to happen.
Bro, dude, this shit just frustrates me more than fucking anything. Like, it's like, why isn't our government in California? Why aren't you? They're not doing anything, dude.
so-
There's a
anything.
reason why we had the Civil
They're not
War.
fixing
Yeah, yeah.
anything.
There's a
dude.
reason why we had a Civil
like-
War.
And so Trump,
Period.
they have a disagreement about the EPA stuff going on. The EPA is like lessening restrictions on the trucking industry. Well, California's stepping theirs up, pushing hard with CARB Act, California Clean Air, blah blah blah.
Right.
So fucking Trump said, all right, he's suing them in federal court. Well, fucking Volvo, Westinghouse, and 5 big other trucking companies jumped on board with the suit. So they're suing California. Well, that's a lot of fucking leeway and money. So I don't know if the state's really going to have the power and the money to fight that big.
Dude, I feel like I feel like we're going broke so fast, right? Like, it's going
yeah.
down
Yeah.
quick.
Dude, and I've been traveling all over, seeing all over the state, dude. And this state is insane.
Yeah.
Like the money produced and the economy and the things going through farmland, going through the cities, dude, I see all this shit. I'm like, there's so much money in this state. It's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
Was it fifth largest economy in the world? What is it? Third.
Third?
Yeah.
Third, California. And how do we have? I don't get it. Properly ran.
So Trump
ran.
Trump is going to do he's really going to push hard right now for voter ID. It's going
Yeah.
to be mandatory in the next election in every fucking state.
why is it though?
So that's what's crazy is I've been saying this for years now. I think the only reason that we keep staying Democrat is because they're cheating with the voter ID. Did you hear Russia, Putin and Trump had that meeting recently?
Yeah, when Trump showed him his dick, did you see that shit?
Yeah,
With the-
dude, with the fucking
Dude,
stealth fighter going over.
he was
That
like,
was bad.
Fuck around and find out.
Bad.
What
Find
happened?
out.
What happened? I
So
didn't see
they're
this.
in Alaska,
Yeah,
and good old Vladdy came over, right?
because they're in a decent place, right?
Yeah.
Them too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
They respect each
dude,
other.
he gets off the plane, he's land. Trump meets him right there. As they're walking, this motherfucker has the B2, the B2, I believe the B3, two F-35 stealth fighters on each side fly over.
Dude, yeah, like
And
our best planes,
Dude,
right as
he
they're
looked
walking
up
in
like-
together, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had no idea they're there.
No.
Yeah, and Putin looks up like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like,
and
because
you-
they're low, dude.
formation,
Like,
bro.
yeah, and Trump
Yeah.
just walks
It was
in.
just
like,
a flex.
Dude,
Yeah,
flex,
like,
bro.
fuck around and find out.
So Putin told Trump, he's like, you know what the problem with your country right now? He's like, they're cheating in the elections. He's like, with mail-in ballots and something else, whatever. He's like, you need to fix your elections, or else you're gonna lose your country.
Yep.
So you guys remember the Cold War,
Of course.
right? they were interviewing this Russian like general and everything. He's like, you know why we didn't invade America? He's like, it was a calculated plan. We had all the calculations. He's all, but the one thing we couldn't calculate,
How many people had guns?
the people with guns
Yeah.
in
Of course.
the country. He
Yeah.
goes, so if you land in a country and you just think you're gonna do whatever you want, he's all, not in America.
No.
He's like, that we
No.
could not.
This ain't Red Dawn, homie. We
Yeah.
learned. Okay.
There's no. He's all. There's
We're
no.
ready.
He's all. There was no calculation in which we won landing in your country trying to invade.
Wow.
They say
Yeah.
Americans, dude, alone, right? Just in America, we have more guns than all the nations combined.
Yeah.
Dude, like we have so much fucking guns in America, it is insane.
Fuck around.
And they-
Fuck around. Like I said,
And they
zombie-
talk about taking our guns
Hey,
out
a
of your
zombie
fucking
apocalypse would be over like that.
Oh, dude.
Everyone be running outside. Ooh.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it wouldn't be motherfuckers hiding and shit. No fucking way. Of course. This ain't
Fucking
Red Dawn,
wild.
baby. This ain't Red Dawn.
So did you see that
Yeah.
Trump is gonna really push hard also to remove taxes?
I see
No
that,
more
but,
fucking end of the year taxes.
property tax is a big one.
But that's state level, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Property
he
tax?
still has an influence. But he just doesn't believe that if you buy a house, you need to be
De-
paying property tax.
DeSantis just made an announcement. He's like, we're putting it on the next ballot. He goes, you guys vote. Because some of you guys say don't do it, and some of you guys say do it. So you guys fucking vote. You whatever you want to do. You want us to remove it? We'll remove it.
You see that-
I'm
did-
like,
did-
why?
did you
Why
see
can't
the-
we do that here?
Did you see the narco boat get bombed? Fuck.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, it was
Yeah.
slick.
That was bad,
Narco
dude.
boat got
Hey,
bombed.
just shot that like nothing. Boom, done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's all.
Yeah.
They all died. 11 of them. They died. They went to
Yeah.
hell.
Where were they?
Yeah.
Where were they coming and going
Beautiful
from?
death.
What was
Beautiful death.
What was,
Yeah.
what was
Like,
the information on it? Did they? It's like where was it coming going?
They were
to?
in international. They're in international waters. They warned them to stop. They were coming to the U.S. and they're like, "Hey, stop!"
You know which
Stop.
you know which plane that
Yeah.
was? That's that big boy that they have up in the sky.
Oh,
that-
the Hercules
yeah,
C-131.
the hell, yeah, the big boy.
C-131
Yeah.
Hercules. Those are bad. Those are
Dude,
bad.
so if we remove taxes, right? But he wants to put a 30% sales tax. So
Yeah,
if you
but-
think about it, most people
Yeah,
don't pay
but-
their taxes anyway.
Yeah, but you could
You know-
choose and pick what you want to buy, so you're getting taxed. Like we get taxed on the money we make, we get taxed
Right,
on the
right.
money we spend, we get taxed on the gas. We like every
Yeah.
like you get fucking 3 cents per your dollar.
Yeah. But 30% is a fucking plus. That's gonna be on top of your state tax, right? Which is another 7, 8, 10, 9%, depending where you live, right? Or you're buying shit,
Yeah.
dude. So you're talking about 40% more on anything you buy, right? Instant 40% more. You
I
know,
think
so
it's a
don't
great.
know.
I think it's a great thing. Like like it from what I'm hearing because people can have their money in their pocket and decide to spend it where it wants. So
Right. It's
obviously,
probably gonna make you think twice before
yeah,
spending.
but
anyway,
obviously
right?
it helps commodities too.
Mhm.
People's
But
product.
think about
and
not having
this
to do
and
your taxes every fucking year, dude. God, dude, like businesses, no more payroll tax. You know,
that.
like
Yeah, but what about the dummies? Sorry, I got to call you guys this. That are always waiting on their fucking tax return.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a whole different animal. But
Right.
you're not getting taxed on your check every fucking week, every other week, so
Right.
you'll have much more income. Like,
right.
it's a whole.
So you're
thing
gonna have to
that-
learn how to
Yeah.
save.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, boys, let me ask you a question. We're almost done with this episode. I know you posted something recently. We got a big fight coming up.
Mm.
Who you got, Crawford or Canelo?
I
Oh,
honestly,
yeah,
dude, that's a
Netflix,
tough
huh?
one, dude. It's gonna be. I really do think Crawford has the recipe for Canelo,
That's right.
and Canelo's been
Southpaw,
kind of
right?
taking a lot more
Switch
easy.
hitter.
Switch.
Both.
Yeah,
But Canelo
Yeah.
has struggled with southpaws, yeah.
He has struggled with guys that move.
yeah.
Like, Canelo's heavy. He's heavy, and he's slow on his feet. And guys
he's
out
sturdy,
Edison,
though.
Edison Andy Lara to Floyd Mayweather to anybody that can move and slip, whew, he has problems.
I think Crawford's gonna get it, dude.
So
I
do
think.
I.
I think
So do
you know
I.
he's younger.
He has pop
he's-
too. He has
yeah.
power.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Canelo, dude. I mean, he's had an amazing career.
100%.
You know what I mean, like he's fought the best of the best.
I
You know, moving up in weight and everything, dude. So
dude, Crawford is more tested.
oh, for sure.
I
His
think-
his career path is a lot more difficult than Canelo.
Well,
Not
Canelo-
saying he's
Canelo-
bad.
kind of took a lot more easier fights these last
yeah,
few
especially
years.
these last couple years.
Yeah.
I agree.
That
He
last
hasn't
fight
knocked
too,
nobody
dude.
out.
That he should have destroyed that guy.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
John
kinda-
Ryder in
yeah.
Mexico, he should have held his head to the masses. You know
For
what I
sure,
mean?
dude. Yeah.
And he like my opinion, like he fought that guy's skull. The guy
Yeah.
just ran from him the whole time. Again,
Yeah.
a perfect example how to beat him.
Yeah.
And he goes, I like guys who stay and fight. Well, how come you ain't fighting Benavidez, bro? 'Cause
Exactly.
Benavidez is
yeah.
waiting. Like
Yeah.
the monster's waiting.
And that's the thing with boxing, man, is how they kind of promoters and stuff now, dude. And
Well, he
seeing
has
where it's going,
He
it's
has
different
power. Canelo has power to pick and choose, like his,
Well,
what
he's
for
up,
sure.
he's earned that right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not everybody has that, but he has the power to pick and choose what he wants.
I
to
tell
do.
everybody, like I'm super excited. Everyone knows how much I love the sport, and the only reason Canelo's getting an advantage is because of his size. That's
For
it, and they're
sure.
not that much bigger.
Yeah,
And like you
yeah.
just touched on earlier, Crawford ain't cutting to 147 no more, and he probably walks around 170,
Yeah.
180,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
the body's always functioning better. But you're not dehydrated.
What are they fighting at?
They're fighting at 168. He's
Yeah.
jumping up 3 divisions.
Who is Crawford?
Crawford.
And
Yeah.
Canelo walks around right there, right?
Probably 200, I would say.
But he
Yeah.
struggled when he first moved up.
Yeah,
Canelo
of
did.
course.
He struggled when he started.
I think he moved up too quick.
When he
Yeah.
started facing some of those bigger boys. He's seen it like.
Well, he made that leap to 175 to fight Bivol, and Bivol fucking smoked him.
Bival's a beast, dude.
He's
I did
brilliant.
not think he should have took that fight, and
Oh,
it
100%.
went exactly how I thought it was.
But
gonna
I
go.
mean, you can't
Yeah.
knock him for that.
No, he
That
did.
just shows his-
But
it
ever
shows-
since then, he's like, I'm not doing that no more. So
Well,
he's
he
fought
got-
these
yeah,
lower
yeah.
level guys, you know.
yeah,
But so I mean, it's gonna be a tough one because Crawford has the fucking past of a fucking warrior. Like, not saying Canelo hasn't, but he's very seasoned.
Dude, he could hit
Yeah.
315,
yeah,
like easy bench.
Yeah.
And he deadlifted, I think it was 405 or 505. Like I said, he's a fighter, walks around 147,
yeah.
and he was hitting that. So
They say
he's a wrestler too.
They say he
He's a
hits
wrestler.
hard. That's what his coach always said. Since he's been like 6 years old training, he fucking had pop.
Yeah,
And he's a switch hitter. I believe he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. It's going to be interesting. I'm pretty excited. These are once in a lifetime fights
Yeah.
that get to happen. Shout out to Turkey. He's the man. The
Yeah.
Saudis, bro.
Yeah.
The Saudis saved boxing when they came over. They saved boxing. The Saudi dude, because they want to make it on the golf. What's it called? The golfing over there.
Live.
Lab. Is it live or live?
Live.
I don't know.
Live.
Yeah, them. Like
They've
they
done a
want,
lot of
they want
sports
that
money.
to.
They spend a lot
They
of
want it to be like
sports.
the new Vegas. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
everyone come there. So he's gone, and dude, the Turkey Al Sheikh, dude, he's paying these guys. Hey, we're gonna pay you what you want, but you're gonna fucking fight. He's like,
Yeah,
you're not
you're
gonna
gonna fight
you're not
the
gonna
best
go
of
the
the best.
Mayweather route and get paid money to fight bums and tomato cans. Like
yeah.
you're gonna fight the cream of the crop, but we're gonna give you 137 million guaranteed cash.
Yeah,
You know, that's what
yeah.
Usyk got. Usyk got 137 million.
And they're spectacles, these shows now. The entrances when it was at Times Square, Ryan Garcia fought him and Roil. I mean, and that was kind of they shit the bed on that one, dude. But it was like, you know, those are the least thrown punches in a championship fight. So it was like, you could tell they're both scared of each other's power. You know what I mean, for sure. And but dude, you look at the entrances that they had.
It was exciting.
in Times Square. Like it was amazing, dude. And you know,
Well, in the Batmobile.
yeah, the Batmobile. That
They
was
did the
pretty
same
cool.
thing with golf. The live golf, dude.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Dope, dude.
Really?
Like, people are partying and like
Yeah.
cheering
So, like,
as they're golfing.
old
It's
school
not
PG
quiet anymore.
Old school
I love
PGA
it.
is like real fucking structured, you know, rules and
Yeah.
legacy, and you know what I mean. Like, so remember that one time, what's his name made the hole in one? He took off his shirt and started swinging it.
Yeah.
And they threw all this shit on the fucking field, and they got in trouble. Like, it got a bad
Yeah.
thing. Liv does it like every fucking golf tournament. Like, they
Yeah.
party and scream
Yeah.
and holler. It's a whole different vibe.
Well, what's cool is like
So you can't be exciting like an old.
So
traditional
PGA,
golf?
it's 4 days. Live is 3 days, right? Every week, right?
but
They
it's
have a
lesser
limit.
rounds. I think.
Right. It's like a little. No, is it just? No,
I think it's a
just 3
shorter.
days.
It's not a shorter. It's a shorter rounds of golf. I think it's like 28 holes versus 36.
Oh shit, I don't know.
There's like
Uh-huh.
there's a couple different things.
Yeah, but then they offered them contracts. Unlike the PGA, you have to win to make your money.
Yeah.
you know, if you don't win, if you're not placing, you're not making
So
money.
you're getting something bottom dollar no matter what.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how they bought everyone. They offered like Tiger Woods $100 million, and he didn't take it. Phil Mickelson, he took it. Like Bryson DeChambeau, like a few people took
There
it,
you go
but
right there, look.
Yeah, they got a lot of them, man. And
3 rounds,
Shotgun
no
start.
cut.
What's a shotgun start, Joe?
shotgunning a beer
the
and then
shotgun.
starting. Just kidding.
I forget.
Oh, so they all start off at the same time, but on different holes. So it speeds up the play, allows players to finish around the
Sounds
same
like you're
time.
describing a fucking
That's way
threesome.
fucking better, dude.
Yeah.
Instead of
Let's go
waiting
back to
around
that.
12
I was about
hours.
to
say
say,
that's
come
what
back
she
to
said.
the
That was
whole
exactly.
before.
Hey, you had me and Gil over here fucking hard, bro. You ever like we all start off on different holes? I'm like, really? I call ass. Adam's like mouth.
Yeah, right.
Anyways,
I'll
go back
get
to your
in
point.
whatever. I'll let you guys
Dubai
start.
is
I'll jump in
doing-
there.
There you go.
Well, Gil, hey, start
Yeah.
plugging all your socials, bro. Plug the businesses, plug the ranch, plug everything. Go for it. Start
Yeah, so
everybody.
we have Estrella Ranch. So Estrella Ranch is under that, just Estrella Ranch. Mine is Gil Billy at what is it?
Underscore,
Instagram.
right?
Yeah,
Gil
yeah.
Billy underscore.
Gil Billy 1 underscore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Underscore 1. So with that, we don't have the Estrella Motorsports page up yet, but we will soon. So that's about it for right now, man.
Your show or anything coming yet?
Yeah, so we want to do I'm doing my protocol on the peptides and keeping a dialogue of what it does for me healing. So the time I roll into the show,
Good shit.
I'll be proof of concept. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I'm not I have no degree in anything but just life. And experience. So what I would be talking about is from actual life experience and being able to help these other people, but mainly the healing. For it to pain to be reciting this much and the inflammation, everything that I've had, My dad always says it's not the age, it's the mileage, dude. So being able to have proof of that, like, look, I was able to do this, and this to get not just back, but to actually truly heal, and then having that education out there, using these psychedelics as a utility, not a party drug. You know what I mean? Because a lot of reasons why people don't want to do mushrooms and stuff because they did it back in the day too hard.
And the nostalgia around it, of getting fucked up.
100%, dude. So changing that mindset into that and using that as like a vitamin and utility to be able to go through your day-to-day life, because it helps me tremendously, dude. You know what I mean? Like my temper is probably second to none, man. You know what I mean? But it's been under control, and also to surround myself around the right people. The group that I have is as solid as it gets. You know what I mean? And I'm just proud and grateful to be around these people, man. And
iron sharpens iron.
100%, man. So
I would definitely like to go check out the ranch.
Yes, cool. I was just going to invite you guys out there, man.
Love to go check out the ranch.
We're going to be actually doing some stuff here very soon, some bigger events. We'd love to have you guys out there,
we'll
dude.
Come help, whatever we can do.
Yeah,
be a part
dude.
of the team. And
we'll definitely
come out there.
And I want you to, I would like to get him on here just so I could talk to him, bro. I'd like to get your brother on here.
Yeah, no, for sure, brother.
Your brother,
yeah,
because your brother, when he was talking in my ear that day after that fight, bro, he his words really resonated with me.
Yeah,
I changed up my style that day, and I ended up winning my last 6 fights by knockout.
Nice, brother. Nice, yeah.
So like I said, I would love to sit here with him.
Yeah.
And, last time I talked with him, I lost on a unanimous
Yeah.
decision. I was sitting down, my head down, and he came and sat with me, man. He put his hand on my shoulder and he spoke in my ear. So
yeah, I'm trying to pull him out of retirement, brother. Yeah, I would love to have him on here.
Is he still local?
Yeah, so he's back here locally. Actually, more recently, he just came back from Menifee.
Okay.
So, but him too. The dialogue I have with him, you know what I mean, going through different stuff he's going through and helping him kind of, stay focused up. But I do want to get him back into that because with these veterans too, we are going to start a little fight team. We're actually
Let me know.
Yeah, we're talking with Jake from the gym too. So we want to build like a facility out there. The gym out on the actual ranch would be nice. Like a state-of-the-art one too.
They're down. You just got to talk to him.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, dude. I love him, man. I've known him forever, dude. So I was like,
good dude,
straight up guy, man. And I appreciate everything. Professional.
Fucking love him, dude.
Professional disruptor, brother.
Dude. You're gay if you blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, Jake. Yeah,
dude,
Jake.
He's something else, brother. He's always been a rebel, dude. Since I met him, bro. That's what the gym started from the beginning with. It was over a rebel move, dude. I'll talk about that another time, but he's an amazing guy, dude, and I love everything he's doing, you know what I mean, and continuing to do. So I'd love to be
beats to his own drum, that's for sure.
Definitely, dude. He's definitely, Han Solo, dude. And
yeah,
I love what he does, dude. And it's hilarious, dude. So
he's
great
given
guy.
us a lot of. He's helped us out.
Yeah,
especially
he's given us time and energy.
We all met in his gym.
Yeah,
that's how this friendship started. This partnership, this trio started in his gym. This started in his baby, and he's come on here. We've had people tell Adam, they seen shit. Tell me, they seen him in a different light after he came on Roil Talk.
Yeah,
because he's always been boom, 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 being the disruptor.
Yeah.
When he came on in here, and when he did a podcast before, right? And they were like giving him bullshit. Remember?
He's done a couple of other ones. Yeah, that he kind of. Oh shit, my headphones.
No, we just
right around the same time as ours, but they're more political based on his January 6th thing. Everything is based around that.
Yeah,
for us,
he got slimed over that.
That's cool,
yeah.
but we fucking like Jake for Jake.
So when 100%, he came on
dude,
here, he started going that, and then Joe, you could tell Joe was like, "Hey, dude, like relax, we're here." And then next thing you know, he's popping edibles with us. Me and Adam are fucked up. Joe's high, I'm high, he's high.
One of the comments on our post, he's like, "I've traveled galaxies with these guys."
Yeah.
He gave us exclusives.
Yeah.
Jorge edited a video for him about talking. Your mother's a fucking bitch and whore. You don't put your weights back, and like he hooked us up with that. And, like he's always like he's helped.
He's a great guy. He sponsored a lot of fighters along the years, training partners of mine as well too, man. So he's always been able to help the communities and all that stuff too. So his heart's really in it.
TG Grand
Opening.
Yeah. So I'll definitely be collabing with him on quite a bit of stuff, dude, for the veterans and events. We're gonna be putting on big stuff like car drives, like where we're all getting together and driving up to the ranch and stuff like that as too. Yeah. So we got some special stuff coming, guys, and I'm just super proud to be a part of it. And in this space of my life, you know what I mean? So it's a trip, dude. It's a trip, brother.
If there's any way we can help, always let us know.
Definitely, dude. Yeah, man. We'd love to have you guys out there, dude. You guys even do some shooting out there, man. Interviewing some guys out there, dude. We got some legends that are around us and that are coming out to talk. And
we're just all about collab and networking, man. Same like-minded mindset.
100%, brother. 100%, guys.
Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Gil.
Yep. Thank you guys, man. It was an honor being here, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Roil Talk Podcast. Smoke, lift, and most of all, you better fucking live. Later.
There we go.
Peace.